there. Last week he put out his top 12 programs in college football, and this is what Josh Pate's top 12 programs look like in college football. Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Alabama, Miami, Texas A&M, Michigan, Texas Tech, and Tennessee. Miami and Texas Tech may surprise some people in there. That's Pate's version of the top programs in 2026. To which Jed Fish, sitting head coach at Washington, went to Twitter and said, "Got it," and retweeting that. Got it.
God, he is just
got it.
I like a guy going to bat for his team there, but there's never been a time. Now listen, there's never been a time in our world when Indiana and Texas Tech were in this group, but we've never had a time where Washington was. And I don't think it ever will be.
Well, how long before Lane Kiffin pops on there?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I mean, top 25, you get to Washington then.
Yeah, but I would give them a top 25 program.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
But got it from a sitting head coach, Jed
So
Fish.
Lance is right. That didn't initially jump out at me. LSU not on there. Was that right?
Yeah.
Hey, one more time. Can you flash it?
LSU not on there?
Nope.
Florida.
Florida not on there?
Florida's not really a surprise based on how long it's been.
Yeah, but when you go program rankings, I always look at it as if I go hire a good coach, how quick can I win?
Yeah, I would go LSU over Tennessee. I'd go Oklahoma over Tennessee. Tennessee's surprising.
Yeah, to me, it's who's got money and facility around it, recruiting and things like
LSU's
that.
got all that.
I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
Indiana,
Oklahoma's got all that.
Indiana at number 3.
I mean, I think we just used to always do it. Like, take Alabama, for instance. Like, who that has been a competent coach hasn't won big at Alabama? Nobody, right? Any competent coach that gets that job wins big, and we'll see if Kalen DeBoer can. So it's always been easy to put Alabama there, but in this world we're living in, all of a sudden there's Indiana. You can't say that about Indiana. They've had competent coaches and have been disasters. But now, in this world where money changes everything in college football, you got to put Indiana there. I mean, Mark Cuban is basically saying, I'll pay whatever for us to keep winning championships. As long as he's willing to do that, you're going to win some championships.
I'm a little surprised USC's not knocking on that door.
Yeah,
I don't know how their NIL is, how well it's organized. Is it organized well?
Yep.
Yeah.
That hadn't been the problem.
I just Texas Tech is it remains fascinating to me at number 11 there, just to see if Cody Campbell can in fact buy his way. He bought his way into the playoffs pretty quickly. But now the next step is buying your way deep into the playoffs. And can he actually do that in Lubbock, Texas?
Don't forget a new Bama and Bourbon is out. Don't forget you can get your tickets to the Jack Links 500 right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Don't forget at Cauchy, promo code TNR gets you into all the great positions and fun that you can have with a tremendous basketball slate tomorrow that includes a huge game for Auburn. And, of course, the big games in the country. Number 4, Arizona at number 2, Houston. No Koa Pete for Arizona in that one. Number 1, Michigan, and number 3, Duke. Neutral site. That's a 5:30 ESPN game. Main ABC for Arizona and Houston. You think they're upset Koa Pete's not playing? We are back with you on Monday. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
NFL Combine this week. College football rule changes being discussed this week. UAB continues a remarkable upside-down metric that I've never seen before. Bama and Auburn win, but we'll start with what the whole country was talking about all day yesterday, the Americans winning the gold. Politically, it's never going to be as important as 1980 was, but 46 years to the day, a lot of fun yesterday for a lot of people, enjoying that both live and then on replay, and the post-game reaction, the locker room celebrations. It was just fun.
It really was. I stayed up too late on Sunday morning, doing nothing, extravagant. But I was like, damn, I wonder if I'm going to make it to set the alarm for 7 a.m. for them to drop the puck. And I did, and I watched the entire thing, and it was captivating. I just wonder, what do you guys think the ratings would have been for this if this would have been 7 p.m. Central Time?
Oh, through the roof, because I didn't watch a minute because I forgot it. Well, two things. I was going to church, but I could have watched the first part of it. I just forgot it was on. I'm not geared to expect a large sporting event at 7 in the morning. Those are generally late afternoon and prime time. So it didn't even occur to me to turn it on Sunday morning. It's still going to be big ratings, I think, but they would have been massive if there's a way it could have been done in prime time.
Keep in mind, though, 46 years ago, it was not live when the Americans beat the Russians, the USSR, and they aired it in prime time with tremendous ratings. I'm thankful they aired it live and in the morning so we could watch it live. I mean, I would have hated.
Oh, yeah.
I would have hated 46 years ago.
Well, you told me I was a kid. I remember I was telling Jack this yesterday. We were talking about it. I remember watching it on like a 20-inch TV, in an old bedroom on the floor watching it. But my recollection is I was watching it live. I didn't know that the result before. I don't know if a lot of people did know the results
did results
before.
get out?
I think they did.
Well, I mean, they got out.
I'm trying to remember. It's 46 years ago,
Yeah.
but I think the Associated Press would report it.
Yeah, but news traveled way slower back
Oh,
then.
it did, absolutely.
That's the thing. I think I watched it not knowing the outcome, much like the NBA playoffs that used to be on tape delay. I would watch those. I didn't know the outcome.
Yeah, I think I'm right about this, but I'm
No,
pretty sure
you
it was,
are. I
it was
remember
an
that.
afternoon game at Lake Placid that
I've read
that
that.
aired in prime time.
Yeah.
So it was so exciting to watch, and if in this day and age, you've got to be controversial or have a hot take to be good at sports broadcasting. So there are people that are criticizing the overtime. 3-on-3 is not real hockey because you take, 2 guys off the ice on each side, 4 guys off the ice, and the Canadian.
It's equitable though. I mean, it's on both sides.
Everybody got the same
exactly.
amount. Yeah.
And as I tweeted at some Canadian fans on my timeline, I was like, you had 3 periods, 41 shots to get it past Hallebuck in the goal, and you couldn't get it past him to win in regulation. If you were the better team, you had 3 periods to get it past it.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the Canadian players, like, you go watch and see who the better team is. I'm like,
no, the scoreboard does that for us.
I don't have to watch the whole game. The one that got the gold around their necks, the better
By
team.
the way, in
yesterday.
1980, the Russians were a better team than the Americans.
No
That
doubt.
matters.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Canada is a better team.
Oh, yeah.
And
They
that
didn't win the
matters.
game, though.
That matters.
It does.
Absolutely.
I mean,
not.
just like, I mean, me being a bitter Rams fan, they played 3 times. Seattle somehow won 2 of them.
Yep.
They won a Super Bowl, but, I'll still stick with it. Like, at the end of the day, there's no argument because
That's right.
somebody's got the gold, somebody's got the silver.
Scoreboard
Keep the
settles that
score.
argument every time. It's
But, man, I mean, how Hallebuck played like that, the pressure that was on him, for them only to have 1 goal through the second, third periods in overtime with the pressure they had on him the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost uncomfortable watching, like, you knew, like, Team USA wasn't going to go out and score 2 or 3 goals in regulation, so he had to be that fantastic.
Jack Hughes gets the game winner. He got a stick to the face where he lost 2 teeth, and the Americans, I almost said Alabama, one and the same to me often. The Americans.
Is Auburn the Soviets to you?
No.
They were.
They were back then.
The Americans get 4 minutes where they didn't score because of the stick to Jack Hughes' face. And in the process, Jack makes a penalty and goes to the penalty box, and he was all upset. He thought, man, it was gonna cost the Americans the gold medal, his penalty during the power play. But here's Jack Hughes, who got the amazing game winner quickly into overtime, giving the Americans their third Olympic gold medal in hockey, their first in 46 years, their first ever on foreign soil. Here is American Jack.
To win with this group of guys, such a special group. So many great USA Hockey people have come before us, players that have reached out, and we're so proud that we could win for the USA Hockey Brotherhood. And all the guys that have come before us and all the kids that are going to come after us. And, it's such a great group we have, and we're so proud that, we could do it, and we're so proud to be American today. That's what you dream about, you know. When you're 6 years old, 7, I'm 24 now, I'm still dreaming that. And, this is the best moment in USA Hockey in a long time. And to be a part of this group, like I said, to do it with my brother. We've had such a fun couple weeks, me and Quinn, in the Olympic Village, and we're just happy this is the way we finished it.
I don't think people understand the pain he's in right now.
Yeah.
With the exposed nerves. Like, I knocked my teeth out, and before I could get anything done, there's a great picture that Scott's pulled right there.
I mean, that's classic right
really
there.
is.
That's right up there with Jim Craig with
I don't think
his
Danny
dad.
Moore's got anything going on in the offseason,
Yeah,
right?
Danny Moore could paint the piss out of that.
That. But, I knocked my teeth out, and it took about 14 hours to get something done. But the exposure of the root, that pain
When
just...
you suck in air?
Anything,
Oh, it makes you cringe.
But, I mean, he doesn't even think about it twice. I mean, just absolutely incredible. To me, the play of the game was Connor McDavid, who had the breakaway, one of the best in all of the NHL, has a breakaway, and I don't know what happened. It's like he got kind of like short-armed with it. He never really had a good attempt.
Yeah.
It was so strange because I would think Connor McDavid in that situation probably scores 7 out of 10 times.
Almost like a penalty shot.
Yeah.
And but Hallebuck, stood on his head in the crease there, and tweeting at the Canadians again. You talk about in regulation when it was normal hockey going on, the Americans had that one that went around the world, as the hockey guys say. It hit left post, right post. The Canadian goalie still hasn't seen it.
Yeah,
that goes in 99 out of 100 times.
I never saw it hit both posts. They kept talking about it. It looked like it did, like naked eye, but every replay I just saw it hit right post.
Yeah,
I thought it came off of like a glove or something. I never really saw.
The replays, we can't show it to you because of copyrights, but it's left post, right behind the goalie, and that's in regulation. The Americans would have won it before the great moment with Jack Hughes. It was better this way. That's an iconic moment in sports. We'll remember forever. There's the team picture, and I cry a lot. I cry during the national anthem in events like this. 12 gold medals, 12 times to cry this time. But when Jack Hughes, first time I started losing tears, didn't start crying when the goal went in. Was just really excited. But when they did the Jack Hughes interview first, when he says, we're just proud to be an American. Just we did this for the country. We're just proud of our country, just proud to be Americans. That's when I started crying. Then they did the national anthem, and it just always gets me when you see guys, men and women, who work so hard for most of their lives
For a country so many people hate.
to get to that one moment. Now, in hockey, it's 60 minutes. For figure skater, maybe 4 minutes if it's a long program, whatever. A skier, it's whatever it is to go downhill. It's a brief moment that you work your whole life for, and you finally get to stand there and sing the national anthem. That was a moment. And then when they brought out Johnny Godot's kids, when they walked over, the former Columbus Blue Jacket, who he and his brother were killed in a biking accident at the sister's wedding, and they brought out the two kids for the team picture because he would have been a part of this. They had his 13 jersey the entire time. That's when I texted Maggie at 10:45 Central Time said, I'm not going to make it to church.
I'm a mess.
Yeah, I'm not in the shower yet, and I'm now crying my eyes out. That is a moment there.
Yeah, that's fantastic is what it is. Very deserving.
To have lost your dad, who would have been part of that team, that 13 jersey hung in the men and women's locker rooms for every game over in Milan.
It's just wild that the women won in the fashion they won. The men win in the fashion they win in the same Olympics. Just as exciting a finish as you could ever imagine. And, like, people might be critical of the 3-on-3 at the end. I don't know. I don't watch hockey. I don't care. I thought it was exciting. It's just remarkable how you could take a sport I never pay attention to and throw the stars and stripes on it, and, buddy, it brings those emotions to you, right?
Yeah, if the American soccer team makes a run in this year in the World Cup, we'll all get behind it because of the flag.
I don't watch any hockey. I certainly don't watch women's hockey, but, man, I can't get enough of watching that move that girl put on the defender to score the goal, and then what old Jack Hughes did. And, I mean, it was like, you know how it is on TikTok. You search for one video, they're going to give you 1,000 of them. So I got every possible view and fan reaction, and I couldn't get enough. And then they start mixing it with Freebird from Leonard Skinner. And I'm like, oh, my, give me a freaking wall to run through.
That's their theme song,
I
right?
know.
It's either been Freebird or the Team America song.
Forget Team America. It's Freebird.
I wonder
freaking Freebird.
how
I wanted
many
to run through a wall last night.
People felt like us yesterday, though, because our country's so divided right now.
Yeah, I think that's what Mike Tirico talked about at the end is like, whether we're divided, sports has always been the one thing that reunites us. And that's what's remarkable is sports reunites us. It's a weird thing that it takes that to do it, but it does take that to do it. And for a minute, and like Jim said, you know, going back to the 1980s, that was part of it, is there was so much division.
Yeah, but
we were such a bad feeling.
But we were still on the same page in 80.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, I think we were.
No, it was us against
it was, but
Soviets.
But there was division. There's always division.
Yeah, but I mean,
not like this.
Yeah,
but not like this.
There's always division, and sports always eliminates that because you end up cheering for the same thing.
I'm glad you brought up soccer because I thought about this. Like, we beat Canada at their own sport.
I've got the same question.
How can we not be good at soccer? I mean, I don't care, but it's just amazing with our athletes. I mean, we are awful at the sport of soccer.
I genuinely felt the same thing all weekend.
We probably should ask the soccer version of Craig Custance of The Athletic. In 2011, on a Sunday morning in 2011, he tweeted this unbelievable tweet that said this: look out, 2026 Olympics. Right now, USA Hockey's 8 and under membership has reached 100,000 for the first time. He called his shot at 9:33 a.m. back in 2011 that look out, 2026 Olympics. Our youth hockey, these group of youth hockey players, 8 and under, are about to get it done. That was Jack Hughes' 8 and under class.
Well, I don't know who this guy is. Who found this?
He writes for The Athletic.
Yeah, somebody resurfaced.
Oh, he probably resurfaced.
I would have if I made that prediction. But I thought the same thing, Lance, when I saw that. I'm like, soccer participation has never been higher.
Oh, and it's higher than 100,000.
Oh my goodness!
Soccer participation drops off quick though the older they get.
Well, then there's our problem.
Yes.
Let's keep them playing longer.
Kids into youth soccer.
Okay,
we can't keep them in youth soccer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many guys do you know that play hockey? I mean, it drops off pretty quick too, I would think.
Yeah, let's do
hockey. I think, at least from with the people I grew up with, the people that played hockey continued to play hockey and either went to play in college or stopped, but they never switched sports.
But you knew people around here that grew up playing hockey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pelham,
I never knew anybody growing up playing hockey.
Well, I mean, pretty new.
You may have heard it in the broadcast. Jack Hughes, back to the star of the contest. Where was he born?
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah,
I looked him up last night.
Quickly, moved to Toronto.
Yeah, because his dad
and all his brothers. I mean, they're all NHL guys.
Yeah, exactly. Three of them, right? But his dad was coaching the Orlando Solar Bears, and that's why he was born in Orlando.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was like the family was from Orlando.
So I looked him up to see which franchise he played for because, and this is just a weird thing, I want to see, like, when he's introduced next time, it's going to be an incredible reaction. Like, wherever the Devils play next, whether it's in New Jersey or Pittsburgh or wherever.
NHL's already smart. Their advertising is They've taken their first games back on Wednesday.
Okay.
They're building it. All the stars. It's so and so's Lightning versus so and so's.
Yeah. So it's going to be Jack Hughes Red Devils.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack Hughes,
and Hallebeck's Jets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm curious about. Is how conflicted the Jets fans must be.
Well, yeah, because you go back to playing with these guys that you had a lot of animosity and really wanted to beat.
I don't think you're conflicted. I think you're pulling against him if you're a Canadian.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, in the actual game, in the Olympics, yes. But
no. When you go back to the NHL.
The reaction, will they applaud him for his gold medal, or will they boo him, or?
So Hellebuck, he's the goalie for the Jets?
For the Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah.
The head coach of my Tampa Bay Lightning was the Canadians' head coach.
Was he really?
He's the one that choked it out in overtime.
It was quick.
Yeah. Well, at least Jack Hughes plays for United States
I think
franchise,
it'll be, the old golf clap respect.
Gold medalist. Good job. You
you
beat
think,
us 41. Could you not stop 41 tonight for us?
If we took 100 great athlete like their spawns, if you had like LeBron's kids and you had, I don't know, Cooper Kupp's kids,
Charlie Woods,
and you put them together and you're like, hey, we're going to win a World Cup in soccer, and these kids are going to start when they're 6, and they are going to play together until they're in their early 20s.
I don't think you can do it like that.
And we're going to give everybody $1 million a year to do this. You don't think we'd win it?
I think that's the way the Russians tried to do their sports back in the day.
But they were pretty good at it.
They were pretty good at it, yeah. And I'm not sure the Chinese don't do it that way now with their gymnastics and diving and stuff.
I mean, I know Norway dominated these games, and that literally was the first I had watched of any of the Olympics was yesterday, but I was all in on that.
The Chinese literally, not that the figure skating, I think they tried to pay our girl $1 million to come win a gold for them.
But
they did pay a skier $23 million.
23 million?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Yeah,
I was out to win a gold.
We typically dominate the Summer Olympics. Like, we've got the best athletes in the world. I don't get the soccer.
No, I thought the same thing. I thought, like, if we can do this in hockey, maybe one day it can be soccer. I don't know.
There's just more opportunity in other sports right now to where if you are a top-level athlete, you're going to play one of the other sports and go make money and get a free tuition. Like right now, SEC doesn't even have men's college soccer.
That's right. That's right.
No, I get that, but I'm talking about like track and field. You don't make any money in track and field.
Yeah, but our best athletes go where the money is, right? We need the LeBron when he was young, the Caleb Downs, who's now going to be a first-round draft pick, defensive back. We need those type of people deciding, man, I'm going to pass up this $5 million offer for Ohio State to play football and go try to make my million and try to do it for soccer. It was an amazing day. Forget the sport. It was just an amazing win for the U.S. You're welcome, America, because when America went up 1-0, I jumped on Kalshi, and I took the Canadians.
I did too.
Minus 1.5 at that point. I was like, the Canadians will come back and win this, and I'll make a little money off my sadness.
Did you sell the position, or did you hold it to the end?
No, I held it to the end. Yeah.
Well, see, I had Canada plus 1.5, so it was perfect for me.
Oh, good for you.
Plus?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, when they were down 1-0.
I took my position on when it was 1-0. I took my position on Canada. I was like, I got a little juice here for the favorite.
I did have I did have some futures on the Maple Leaf, so it would have been ideal for me if Canada would have won.
Yeah,
but hey, because I got the 1.5, I ended up. That was a wash.
That was a wash.
Yeah,
okay.
that $5 position I took on Kalshi. Gladly, I had more than $5 worth of tears right there and joy watching the Americans win it.
So ESPN will hype everybody that was featured in the Olympics, and it won't carry over, will it?
Nope. NHL ratings will not go up one bit.
I mean, it's a very healthy sport. The attendance is great. The ratings are good. They're not NFL numbers. They're good for what they are paid to be.
But I'm a good test market for this. Yeah. I got sucked in when the two brothers, the fighters, the Kachuk brothers, got pissed that they booed the national anthem. So they go out and fight, and then they played in that championship. That was back like November. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And I watched that whole game, freaking game. First hockey game I'd watched in forever. You know how much hockey I've watched since?
Yesterday.
I didn't even watch it live.
Yeah.
I forgot it was on. So I'm a pretty good test market. I don't think it'll help. Unfortunately, I hate that for
I
them.
think it
You
will
would
for like a
to.
week or two.
Yeah, our friends at Kalshi brings you part of the show today. As we were talking about, we'll get to what we saw in basketball. Seth Greenberg is with us midway through the second hour of the show. If you're watching us live or on replay, hour 2 is when Greenberg will join us. Kalshi is where you can take position on basketball and hockey, pop culture. I got a little future on little Langley's Choose in Texas.
Oh, is that not this Sunday? Did that
It's
not pay off
coming
Sunday?
up the 28th.
The 28th, okay.
Yeah, I need to make a big push this week.
I mean, that is
Got to get around Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny.
the really cool. What makes Kalshi so unique is they also are very active in politics, pop culture, just worldly events. Obviously, the sports, very important. Download Kalshi.
I think you could put money on Kash Patel wearing a medal in the locker room. He did get a gold medal around his neck, FBI director.
Hey, look, there's a lot of people that enjoy, when it's just a one-off like a Super Bowl, playing these props. You got all of this available right now at Kalshi. Again, download Kalshi, download that app, put in the code TNR. You're going to get $10 when you trade $10 from our friends at Kalshi. It is now legally available in all 50 states. Jump on board, Brown.
You can right now with code TNR and play games like, hey, how about tonight? Houston playing at Kansas. Both teams coming off a loss. Both teams, including Kansas's baffling loss to Cincinnati.
That's my heart rate, by the way, the who will leave Trump administration in 2026. Look at that graphic there was all over the place.
By the way, this is the second time I've said this year. Kansas catching points at home as Houston comes in. You don't see that often in Lawrence, Kansas.
Can we take a position on how many minutes Darren Peterson will play?
Very low.
Played them all in the loss this past week.
Yeah, how did that work
Played
out?
it late in the game.
Kalshi.com and the Kalshi app. You can download it right there and use code TNR to get $10 on your first $10 position. Also, don't forget a place I went Friday night. Great place to go celebrate a win or forget about a loss. Our friends at Culver's. And when you're at Culver's, enjoy that juicy butter burger, those crispy crinkle-cut fries, those gooey golden cheese curds, and do what I did Friday night, top off a great meal with a great dessert with that creamy frozen custard right there with our friends at Culver's. You cannot go wrong with Culver's. Welcome to Delicious. When in Birmingham, use Stadium Trace for the Tattersall Park location where I was Friday. With our friends at Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
All right, so Auburn gets the big win that they had to have over the weekend. We'll talk Bama in the next segment and some other stuff going on in college basketball and college football. But Auburn beats Kentucky 75-74. We'll get to the big picture of Auburn's win and what it meant. But Mark Pope, head coach of Kentucky, leaving the news conference where he was every answer to every question as I was standing there was about I can't talk about officiating, and then he would answer the question, But as he's leaving, he makes it out the door and into the hallway and talks really loud to Mitch Barnhart, his athletic director, so all the reporters could hear. What's Gaddis's first name again? Gaddis, the guy who recorded the audio, that caught the audio.
Mike Gittins.
Gittins,
Yeah.
My bad, Mike. Mike is the only guy that kept rolling. It was still rolling when Mark Pope got out in the hallway. And this is what it sounded like.
Those Monday ever try 5-6 school. They did not say a word about how they cheated us.
You heard us all start laughing in there because
I think he purposely was loud.
100%.
Yes.
Because he's out of the news, but he's into the concrete block hallway, and he's not really out past the open door.
This is the best way to do it.
And he says, they can't fire me. I didn't say anything. They cheated us. He was not happy with the foul call. Who was it on? Colin Chandler.
Yep.
With 14.5 seconds left, that gave Auburn the possession where they end up getting the tip in with 1.1 left and win the thing 75-74. Here's more Mark Pope actually on the podium, not getting fined.
Mark, I know you can't talk about officials, but your players saw the play. What do you say to them in the locker room about a situation like this?
Well, we refuse to give control to people that are outside of our program. Refuse. Regardless of how personal it might get. or how bad it might get. We refuse to give control to fans, to give control to anybody else associated with this game, regardless of how blatantly people are trying to make this not happen. We refuse to give them their power. That's what I talked about. We have 48 hours to turn this around. We got a massive game at South Carolina. We're going to go find a way to win it because that's what we do. So we're not giving away our power. We're not. Like, we don't make excuses. We don't do that. Regardless of what is happening, regardless of how disgraceful things are, we don't give away our power. Regardless of how embarrassing, personal, awful, like unacceptable things are, we refuse to give away our power.
A little over the top there, right?
They're in watching and listening to post-game reaction from the Kentucky folks. There is question. This is their first 3-game losing streak since 2021. There are questions if this job is now too big for Mark Pope.
I heard it coming into the season.
Yeah, it looks like it.
And it does at times, but I look at the roster, and we've said this for the last couple of weeks, I don't know how talented the roster is.
Other than Owe, who had another big game.
A career-high 29. I mean, he was great.
A lot of that with 4 fouls on. You go out and I love Mo Diabate.
He's a nice player at Alabama.
Yeah, you overpay to get him a role player. He would really help Alabama if he was still on Alabama's roster.
But he wouldn't be starting.
No, there were some Calipari teams that he wouldn't. If you went 10 deep, he wouldn't get minutes.
Wouldn't get playing time, right?
Yeah. Was that Marty Smith that asked him the question, by the way?
That question, no, it was a Kentucky reporter. I don't know who it was.
I would be interested. See, this is like Mark Pope. You know who Mark Pope is? He's the gambler that wants to talk about his bad beats, but never comes to you when he gets a lucky call at the end of a game, right? All he wants to do is focus on the bad beats.
That's right.
He's the golfer that gets an incredible break on number 5 to make a par, but only wants to focus on the bad break he got on number 16.
You know eventually who he's going to be?
Who?
Juwan Howard.
He gets
former player
gift calls
that is over his head with his alma mater.
2 gift calls at the end of the first half. 2 gifts. Auburn didn't touch either one of those guys. Yeah. Gift calls. But you know what? You don't focus on those because they happened at the end of the first half. Even though those points count just like points at the end of the game, they all add up the same.
100%.
I'll tell you, man, why?
You focus on the bad one, which I don't know how bad it was. Honestly, Chandler extends his arm.
He does. I mean, was there a little flopping going on?
There was, and Chandler was getting grabbed as well.
Yeah.
But, man, if you're going to extend your arm and a guy go down.
Hey, those Kentucky players were holding on every inbound pass.
Everyone.
And Stephen talks about that here. Here Stephen gets asked about Pope's comments about non-officiating calls and things like that. Stephen lays it out for you. It was just a game where they were letting them play. They were hacking and holding the whole game.
Mark Pope came in here and he very articulately expressed his thoughts on how physical the game was. What are your thoughts on how physical this was, and how do you keep your team focused through kind of how this game was called?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that there was a foul on every single possession the first 5 minutes of the game. And, I think the officials tried to let both teams play through it. Because, if every foul was called on both ends, it would have been, both teams would have shot 50 free throws. So, a lot of physicality on both ends. I thought they were holding us on every single entry pass, so, I think it works both ways. A very physical game. And, I thought for the most part our guys did a pretty good job of handling it. And, I told them, I was like, don't ask for whistles in this game because obviously, that's not how they're calling it right now. You got to adjust to what the officials are doing, and they already have an impossible job as it is. And, our guys did a decent job of hanging in there and trying to play through contact.
I don't
Big win for him.
If you guys, and I had Auburn -2.5, disaster weekend, by the way. But I don't know how you guys feel watching Stephen coach. It's so uncomfortable because, Mark Pope knows what he's getting into with Kentucky. But this year is so big for Stephen, and he is it's no telling how much he's aged and how bad this is for his health.
Yeah.
Because you can just see him grinding out there. And I forgot which Kentucky Wildcat it was that made a 3 at the end of the shot clock. And you just saw him he's about to just lose his shit and just start hitting the scoring table. And he's doing everything he can to contain himself.
Yeah, when they called the foul on the missed 3, and he almost hit the scorer's table, and Jimmy Dykes said he didn't do it because he got teed up for it, and he's like, now I can't hit the scorer's table. I mean, this was the first.
That was when the Kentucky guy, I think it was also the Colin Chandler guy, kicked his leg out and caught him, right?
Yeah, they didn't get that. I think they called the clean landing, basically, is what they called it.
But even till there was 1.4 left on that final inbound, and it it ended up being a perfect inbound just by circumstances, and they drop it, and they don't have an opportunity. He had plenty of time to get the shot off, but you see Steven just go,
yeah.
Like, I mean, just so relieved, and it's just it's exhausting watching him coach because every game is so big and monumental moving forward for Auburn.
It was the first time I had watched him where it felt like you could really see both the pressure of the moment, and you haven't been able to see a lot of relief because they'd lost 5 straight, but just the relief after the win.
Yeah.
You could see the relief, like Lance was just talking about, after the win and tell how much pressure was on the game for him.
Yeah,
he was wearing it.
We'll talk later in the next segment about Lunardi's new bracket and what the committee did, so save that, Forrester, for the next segment. But they had played their way into, Dayton, and not that they're out of that yet, but
they were in dangerous waters.
Yeah,
because people started recognizing this last team with a bye.
Yeah.
And so I think they were a 10 or 11 in most circles going into that game. But that's a massive win.
Yeah, so we'll get to all that coming up and where it is and what the committee said over the weekend. New bracketology out from Lunardi this morning, and we'll show you where Auburn is right now on that. As the show moves forward, we'll talk about Alabama's big win on the Bayou, a lot of upsets again, and where we are as we approach March Madness. The show being brought to you today by our buddy Alexander Shinara, Trial Attorneys. Brownie?
Shinara.com, Shinara.com. That is where you go when you're in need of legal assistance on any matter, and you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. With Alexander Shinara, Trial Attorneys, you can get whatever you're facing legally handled with our guys with Alexander Shinara. Now, you already know from years that they handle personal injury claims. Did you also know they handle claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, a host of other claims? When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Again, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
And the wonderful world of Greg from Pell City. He wants to bring his traveling roofing show to your house for free. That's right, a free, no-cost roof inspection, 205-542-3531. That's his cell number. Just call him up and say, hey, I was listening to Dunaway. He always talks about this free, no-cost roof inspection. About to sell my house, or I'm about to buy a house, or hey, how about this? How about this, man? I haven't had my roof inspected since I've owned this house, and I'm starting to wonder, is it time for a new roof? Greg will let you know. He'll give you the 411 on what's going on up on top of that ladder on top of your roof. All you got to do is call him 205-542-3531. Or go to the website, stormrestorationroofing.com. He and his wife, Andrea, own the company for over 20 years, locally owned. He's got financing that is family-friendly, the best he can do there. He's got great relationships with the insurance providers that's going to help you with your claim. He'll help walk you through the process. But make sure you call him before you file that claim. That'll help you out in the long run, too. He's got a soft wash program to make your roof look fantastic. Without even putting new one up there, he can take away some of the staining from the summer sun here in the South. All that for you. A-plus rated with a Better Business Bureau. Nobody does it better than, in my opinion anyway, than Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, stormrestorationroofing.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Brownie and Brooks were just talking about the Alabama news scheduling rise, Brownie, that just popped up this morning.
They've announced the 2028 home opener Alabama has as Georgia State. Everybody hold your excitement down real quick. That gives Alabama 4 non-conference opponents.
You can't do that with the 9 conference
It's going to be tough. Ohio State, UT Martin, Oklahoma State, and Georgia State now.
I would remove Ohio State, please.
Would you? Well, you've already gone to Ohio State in 2027, so you don't get the return game. So it's probably not the one you're looking to remove.
I'm going to remove 2027, too.
You're going to both of them.
That's been the buzz, right, that's going to happen, that Ohio State, Alabama may go away.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, would love to see the game, but if I'm Kalen DeBoer, if I'm Greg Byrne, if I'm Ryan Day, I don't want this game.
No, it sucks for the fans, man, that we're not going to see Alabama play in the Horseshoe in 2 years. See Ohio State playing Bryant-Denny. I mean, and we're trading that for Georgia State. Now, look, I know you're getting another SEC game. I get that, but
do you think we'll ever live in a world like this past weekend? That was a fun doubleheader when you had, in the middle of the day, you've got Arizona, in Houston, and then at night you've got, or mid-afternoon, 5:30, you had Duke and Michigan. And you just never see that in college football when you go out of conference, marquee games, middle of season.
3 versus 1, 4 versus 2.
Would you guys like to see that?
Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah. I don't necessarily want to be the coach that has to make a living trying to play that type of schedule, which is why we end up with what we end up with a lot. Hey, by the way, Tyler Reddick won in Atlanta yesterday in NASCAR. That's back-to-back wins for him. First time that's happened in NASCAR since 2009.
Was Jordan there yesterday?
Jordan was there again yesterday. He helped celebrate the win, and he drives a Toyota.
Oh, look
Jordan
out.
does?
Tyler Reddick does.
I bet Jordan does too.
Yeah, I know Reddick does.
Well, I mean, Jordan chooses the team that
that's right.
the car make that his team has. It's Michael Jordan's team, and they're a Toyota team. Back-to-back wins for our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Well, I'm a Toyota family now. Leighton's in the Toyota. I'm in the Toyota. Absolutely loving it. I got that Land Cruiser back in October. Just fantastic. And all the little features, I'm able to fire it up. I get out of the shower. That thing's warm when I get in the car. Hoover Toyota, they service Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection. Their on-site finance department, headed by Kim, provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in your hands, they are there to serve you with the service and parts department, committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop with Hoover Toyota, they want to keep you for a customer for life. That's why they offer the Red Carpet Program. Gives you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with their referral program. Stop in, see them, go see Scott, Kim, Harold, all the fine folks located Highway 150. Tell them the next round sent you, or you can view their inventory and great pricing. Go to hoovertoyota.com.
Hey, it's back for a limited time with our friends at Bojangles, the Bojangler and Bojangler Deluxe, Alaskan pollock fish fillet.
They've got a new dance team, the Bojanglers.
With Bo's famous seasoning. The Bojangler Deluxe has pickles, tomatoes, lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce. And start your day with putting up threes, the triple-double biscuit with triple the protein, sausage, egg, and bacon, double the cheese, all on a scratch-made biscuit. Try that with the Bojangles' new iced coffee for a slam dunk as well. And finish any meal with a brand new strawberry cobbler, all at your local Bojangles, where it is always bow time.
It sounds like that copy has moved to March Madness.
Yes, start your day with putting up threes.
Yeah, and slam dunks.
Slam dunk. Yeah, the triple-double biscuit.
The great friends at Bojangles. Alabama gets their sixth straight win, 90-83 at LSU. One of the question marks, cut to Tyler, was LeBaron Philon played 24 minutes in the game, was listed as probable on the availability report, and Nate Oates talked about LeBaron Philon's health after the win.
Barron's obviously banged up, played a lot of minutes Wednesday night. We held him out of practice. He had just a lot of basketball bumps, bruises, just couldn't get loose. He didn't practice. We didn't practice Thursday. We just did video and a short walkthrough. Friday he didn't practice at all. We were hoping he'd feel better today, and he did, but he still wasn't anything close to where he needs to be. So it'll be good to have tomorrow off. We'll have to try to manage his workload on practice Monday, Tuesday, and see where we can get him on Wednesday. But thought Holloway did a really good job.
So Alabama, they don't punish LSU, but LSU, they haven't allowed 90 points all season. They're sort of built on defense and their pace of play, and Alabama gets to 90 on them and gets a comfortable win down in Baton Rouge, hitting 30 free throws. They're getting to the line really well.
Tough game to watch.
It really was, yeah. But Aiden Sherrill goes double-double again, 12 and 10, and we've said this before, Lance, but the value of Aiden Sherrill right now for this team's success down the road, he is vital because people behind him are not very good.
No, and look, we talk about rim protectors. He had 4 blocks. The rest of the team, and no blocks. I mean, look, he is the most valuable player on this team moving forward. I mean, he really is. As good as Philon is,
you got all
as good as Amari Allen is.
You got all kinds of guards.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is it would not be ideal at all for, a Reitzel or Aiden Holloway or any of these guys to go down. But if Sherrill goes down, they got no shot.
Well, you saw it when he fouled out. I mean, what was Alabama up when they've run away with that game.
Yeah.
If Sherrill
15, 17?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's a 20, 25-point win probably if Sherrill doesn't foul out. But you just got to get something behind him. I mean, it just shows why Nate Oates was willing to do what he did to get Bediako. He knows what's behind
this
Sherrill.
shows you, too. I mean, he mentioned Philon there. Nate did. But, he's the only starter that wasn't in double figures, and he just didn't have a typical Philon game. And you still win the game rather easily. I mean, they were at arm's length the entire game with Philon not playing well.
Yeah, I mean, it shows how good they are that they can do that without Philon. But it also shows what is their Achilles heel, is if Sherrill gets in foul trouble in the postseason, Alabama's got issues.
They got trouble.
I mean, it's not an automatic loss. I don't mean to say that, but I mean, if you're going up against a team that's got any sort of inside game, Sherrill has got to have the game of his life to stay out of foul.
And I heard Nate on a national show last week talking about how he hates it for the kid and Bediako not being eligible. He hates it for himself and this team because Bediako was kind of that trump card that they had.
It gave you enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that he was dynamic, but it gave you enough behind Sherelle that if Sherelle has to sit for a minute, you're okay. If Sherelle has to sit for a minute right now, you're a different team.
I'll stand by their better team without him. And
until Sherelle gets in foul trouble
I still believe that that Williamson and Taylor Bowen will have a who is our guy that plays with Arkansas now that had a great tournament, got him to the
Nick
Final
Pringle?
Four. Yeah. They'll have a Nick Pringle awakening when it gets time for the brackets.
I keep waiting for Bowen. Because he's so cheap now in DraftKings. I gave him a start this week.
The 8 straight games now. We're hitting 10-3, so Alabama's shooting it well, and they now, with a day off yesterday, will start ramping up for a Wednesday game against Mississippi State at home. For Auburn, they're at Oklahoma. Quick turnaround travel day today at Oklahoma on Tuesday. Crucial game always for Auburn now because of where they are in the brackets. We'll get to the bracketology in a second. What the committee said about the top 16 teams and where Alabama was in that after I remind you that our friends at NASCAR, after Atlanta, they're making the turn. The next time they do the super speedway setup will be here at Talladega with the Jack Links 500, and you can get your tickets right now, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Buy your tickets for the Jack Links 500. By the way, you can also upgrade to that garage experience and get the most immersive garage experience in NASCAR, actually be inches away from the crew working on your favorite driver's car, your favorite race team's car, up close and personal. In the garage bay viewing areas there, pre-race ceremonies, you're right there in the action. Victory Lane, you're right there in the action. All with that immersive garage experience ticket. You can get that and more details, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA. First off, the 16 teams before the action got going on Saturday, unveiled by the committee, where Alabama just missed. Alabama, Arkansas were 17 and 18 in the committee's mind, and they talk at length about how they were evaluating the Bediako games and all of that. Doesn't look like it's going to be punishable to Alabama. They seem to be fine with that. The 16 teams that got unveiled pretty much look like Lunardi's 16 teams right now, except Alabama has replaced Vanderbilt, who lost to Tennessee. Alabama's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, I thought that Alabama would be in the spot Vanderbilt was in. We talked about this on Friday, but Vanderbilt now losing back-to-back games, losing to Tennessee in a really good game this past weekend. And by the way, Vanderbilt's got more losses coming up when you look at that schedule. They might have 3 more losses coming up for the Vanderbilt Commodores. But, Alabama winning 6 consecutive games now, Vanderbilt losing back-to-back. Bama's in a good spot. I mean, I think we'd all agree at right now. Worst case, Alabama's a 5, more than likely a 4.
And you really can't, because the 4 is going to play the 1 in the Sweet 16 is the way it works, right? Getting to the Sweet 16, massive accomplishment, I think, for this team, yes. And then you're going to play one of the behemoth 1 seeds. Here's a look at Lunardi's latest bracketology, and it sort of pairs up different type of seeding. Duke's the overall number 1 now. They were the overall number 2, and then they beat Michigan over the weekend. More on that game in a second.
It's still a beatable team, though. It'd be a bad matchup for Bama just because of Boozer and what he can do in the paint. But, I mean, that's still a very beatable team.
Yeah, in that region right now where Bama is, according to Lunardi, is Purdue, who's already beat you. Big inside game in Kansas. 2 is Michigan. 3 is Arizona, 4 is UConn, and then 5, Iowa State, surprising loss this weekend, 6, Purdue, 7, Houston, 8, Illinois. Gonzaga's 11. Oh, let me go back. Florida's 9, almost a 2. They'll eventually be a 2. Nebraska 10, Gonzaga 11, Kansas 12. Then Michigan State, Texas Tech, Virginia, Alabama is the last of the top 4 seeds. Tennessee, Vandy, St. John's, and Arkansas all lined up, all on Alabama's schedule. Tennessee still to come right behind the Tide.
This has been a slow climb for Tide Gold in Florida.
Yep.
We've recognized this for weeks, almost months, or a month. And, they're still sitting and hovering. I don't know about you guys, but if I did my top 5 teams that I wouldn't want to play right now,
Florida would be one of them.
Definitely one of those 5.
It's funny. We've spent a lot of time this year talking about how much different the SEC looks year over year. 11 SEC teams in this field. What was it last year? 12?
13.
14?
It was 13.
13, okay. And then I noticed, on this is something I don't look at on the day-to-day because I'm not a subscriber. I think it's behind their paywall. But Jimmy Dykes talking during the Auburn-Kentucky game that Ken Pom has Alabama ranked as the toughest conference in the country, or excuse me, SEC ranked as the toughest conference in the country this year.
Yeah.
And I find that interesting because we spent a lot of time talking about how much different it looks this year over last year. And it may not look as different as we think it does. I mean, that is a depth measurement in the SEC being the top conference. It's not a top of the conference measurement.
I mean, I think SEC or Big Ten depth-wise, Big 12, if we're just
top
going
end.
top of the conference.
Yeah, top end. That's hard to argue.
If I can get the graphic back up, Forrester, on Lunardi, the big thing you wanted to point out is, as you were saying, LT, last 4 byes, that's the last 4 teams that don't have to go to Dayton that are actually in the tournament. Auburn is now the last team with a bye. So they are in that transfer spot, Dayton, not Dayton. So they're crucial right now that they don't lose one of these Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU games of their next 3, and then they're at Alabama, which won't hurt them if they lose that, helps them if they win that one.
Yeah, that would be so strange to see Auburn in a Dayton game. There was a time where we were doing a show, hello, Tony Barbie, that Auburn would have loved to have been in a play-in game, but boy, that would seem strange.
It would, especially coming from the Final Four. But if you're in Dayton, you're also very in a precarious spot of missing the tournament. Missouri, Santa Clara, TCU, and New Mexico are in Dayton right now. First 4 out, Ohio State 0-9 in quad 1 games. USC with Chad Baker-Mazar trending wrong. San Diego State and Cal. And Brown, to your point, of the first 4 out, next 4 out, and the next 4 after that, no SEC teams there. So the 11-10 transfer spot is Missouri. That's the worst SEC team that's in there, and they had a tough loss over the weekend.
And Missouri's a pretty good team.
They are.
But I think what gets frustrating when you're a fan is Auburn was on this exact same line to start Saturday. Am I correct? According to Lunardi?
They were there in some circles. I don't know where Lunardi had them. Some had them last 4 in. But
and I could say the same thing if I'm a UCLA fan. Like, I see myself in that category, and I'm like, all right, I beat Illinois. If I'm Auburn, all right, I beat Kentucky. Those are obvious tournament teams. What'd that do for me? Nothing. And look, I know this is not official, but I mean, Lunardi's pretty good at what he does. That's the frustrating thing is you finally get a win if you're an Auburn fan, and boy, you are still teetering on the edge right now.
So that's Lunardi's bracketology as we sit here with, for some conferences, 1 week to go, a couple of weeks left in the SEC. And for Auburn, they're at Oklahoma Tuesday, home to Ole Miss, home to LSU, and at Alabama. And the Tide still has a trip to Tennessee that is hanging out there this upcoming Saturday after a home game with Mississippi State. Fun times, though. Before we do the viewing menu, the show being brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank. And I do want to talk about the big games this weekend before we get to the viewing menu, brought to you by Central State.
All right, that is the bank that is big enough to meet every single need you have.
Brown, can I say this? I was at the Greystone location on Friday, meeting with Trey and transferring some accounts over to Central State and their customer service. And I'm telling you, it's so old school because we know banks now, you're just a number. Like when I was sitting there and we were going through things, like multiple people were just walking in that were their customers.
Hey, Tony!
And it was just incredible stories. Like, and I got to talking about this dude that I met right there, and we were talking about the New York Butcher Shop. It's just an old school bank that does it the right way.
It's family owned for 100 years in this community. They serve Central Alabama with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. Lance said it better than anybody could say it. You're just in a place where people know your name because it is a community bank. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Member FDIC.
That Duke Michigan game you were talking about in Arizona, Houston, Cameron Boozer, man, if he did not secure, I would take him first overall. I know Dibatsa had a big game in BYU's win. The Peterson drama, he finally played. He was available for the whole game, but 18, 10, and 7. That's the 15th time this year that Boozer scored at least 15 points and pulled down 10 rebounds. He just does it all.
Yeah, and I think he's like the safest. Like, I don't know, like upside, I don't know if he's ever going to be a superstar in the league, but Cameron Boozer to me is a guy that's going to get you 14 and 8 at least.
Do you have an NBA comparison to him?
No. I mean, he's 6'9", but he's 250 pounds, but he's got handle. He's got incredible post moves, soft hands. I mean, there's a lot of 6'9" guys in the NBA. How well will he be able to shoot it from the perimeter at a consistent basis, which you're going to need to be able to stretch once you get to that next level? He's a freaking stud, though. And the Darren Peterson talk, and I know that's calming down a little bit. But, right now, Boozer's, right at 40% behind the arc. It's crazy.
Another monumental game for him. Arizona beat Houston without Koa Pete. Only the second home loss in 3 years for Houston.
Yeah, and look, and that was a big number. We talked about it with Furman, 5.5, and you did point out Koa Pete wasn't going to be playing. I was surprised, though, they controlled that entire game.
And they did it with only 3 threes made. They played inside the arc, which is a rarity to beat a team like Houston inside the arc. And
the analytics, they tell you there is no way you can succeed at a high level in today's basketball playing that way. But they did it for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Had no problem.
Cincinnati stunned Kansas. UCLA upset Illinois. BYU beat Iowa State. You saw all that reflected in the bracket. Tonight, Louisville and North Carolina, 21st and 16th, though I don't think that'll be the rankings when the AP poll comes out. And then number 2, Houston, after that home loss, playing at number 8, Kansas, as Brownie said. Both those teams coming off surprising losses. 8 o'clock, Darren Peterson played and finished this past weekend. Bill Self says that's how you sort of stop the narrative. You play and you finish.
Yeah.
We'll see what he does tonight. Another opportunity for him to, in a big Monday game, to not be available for the final 19 minutes and us crank it all up again.
In 18 of their 27 games this year, he's played less than 25 minutes. And that'll be fun to watch. Not only is it a great game in the Big 12, but it also is fun watching Bill Self in year 23 with multiple national championships basically get strung along by an 18-year-old.
By the way, now that we're aware of the Bill Self has never lost a Big Monday game, here we go with them playing on Big Monday, catching points at home.
Yeah, so I might or might not have the Kansas Jayhawks tonight.
All right.
I've said since watching them play Auburn down in Birmingham, this is the worst Houston team in many years.
You did, because I came in after that game and I said, look, Auburn almost beat a Houston team that'll be fighting for a 1 seed. And both of y'all were like, I don't know about that, Brown. Y'all were right. This is probably, I don't think they're going to be fighting for a 1 seed. They're probably fighting for a 2 or 3 seed.
But they still yuck it up so well, and Sharp is such a good player. They still play that dog and heat defense. It's still Kelvin Sampson. I agree that they're not, you look at the last 5 years, I think the average is like 33 wins. They're probably not there, but it still is 100% one of the top 10 teams in college basketball.
UAB beat Memphis in Memphis for the first time since 1999. More remarkably than that, the Blazers are now 8-0 in conference play, 1-6 at home. They're home Sunday to North Texas. I think I'm right about this, Brooks Forrester. The American Conference Championship Legacy Arena. So technically not Bartow Arena, thank God, but it's in Birmingham. They'll have to. I'd stay in a hotel and I'd wear the road uniforms if I'm Andy Kennedy. The rest of the way, we'd never put on a home uniform again.
I've got a buddy that's a big Bama fan. Doesn't care anything about UAB, and he just sent me a random text yesterday. Coach AK getting those results. I love it. Just going back to him calling out players.
Yeah, that's true. It worked.
8-0 on the road, 9 straight road wins. They're tied the best road win total in UAB basketball history. One more away from setting that record.
So strange.
Yeah, they just aren't getting it done at home, killing it on the road, and getting it done at Memphis over the weekend. All right, viewing menu brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, best in the business. Dr. Mort Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson. If you've been thinking about it, find out if you're a candidate for LASIK. You wear the glasses, you wear the contacts, you're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I did it for about a decade with the contacts. Make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
We've got 2 new re-releases, bit of an oxymoron. 2 old movies being re-released today, and I can't decide which one I'm going to go see. First off, you got Fruitvale Station. It's the story of Oscar Grant III, a 22-year-old Bay Area resident who crosses paths with friends, enemies, family, and strangers on the last day of 2008. It stars Michael B. Jordan and is directed by Ryan Coogler. This was the first film I believe they worked on together, and it just kicked off
I thought it was an overrated film. I don't know about you.
I haven't seen it, so that's why I'm debating on
it's a
seeing
tough watch. I mean, obviously based on a true story, and just really just a terrible situation.
Yep. But it kicked off their relationship that's been going on for 13 years and seems to continue to be going strong for the foreseeable future. So I'm debating on seeing that. Sinners also being re-released. I haven't seen that since it was released for the first time last year. So I might go re-watch that, but I'll definitely see one of them. And then next up on Paramount Plus, I'll be watching Scream 3 and 4 because I've got about 15 minutes left in Scream 2, and I need to keep chugging right along to get through Scream 6 before Scream 7 comes out on Thursday.
Got to have goals in life. I like that. There you go.
I've got to refresh myself on the entire franchise. 9 o'clock tonight on CBS, we've got a new series coming out created by Dick Wolf, the creator of Law & Order. It's called CIA. A fast-talking, rule-breaking CIA officer teams up with a by-the-book FBI agent on a clandestine task force to prevent domestic terrorism in New York. I've never been a big Law & Order guy, but I know a ton of people will just watch nothing but Law & Order and its spin-offs constantly.
Well, the original Law & Order is really, really good. Had some great dynamic teams, but some of the spin-offs.
Yeah, I think I've only seen bits of SVU. And I do not like that one.
No, I've only liked the original.
The original's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we'll go back and watch it at times if I need to, find my center.
Your North Star.
My Robert Duvall tribute continued over the weekend. I watched The Apostle on Thursday night, but I watched all of Lonesome Dove, all 4 parts this weekend.
Well, I hear it's good.
It is good, but everybody was like this masterpiece. I mean, I can name 10 westerns that are better.
Okay.
It is very made for TV, which it was. I think it was CBS back in 1989. It's a great cast. It is very good. Robert Duvall, Tommy Lee Jones. It is good, but it's got some really cheesy parts. It's got a little Silverado to it. As much as I like Tombstone's got a lot of cheese to it too. It's just got kind of those elements. I mean, it's not The Searchers at all. It's not Unforgiven at all.
An 89 CBS show, a Western CBS show made in 1989 is going to be cheesy.
Yeah, and just how the wardrobe, just everything about it. But, I mean, it was good. I mean, I watched all 4 parts. It was like 8 hours. I just pieced it together over the weekend, yeah.
Jeez.
And then finally on today's viewing menu, if you're still feeling patriotic from yesterday, you can go on to Hulu or Disney Plus and rewatch Miracle. It's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that is what Tyler and LT are watching. When we come back, Seth Greenberg's part of the next hour of the show, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This is the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show being brought to you in part by our friends at CPAP Plus. We'll get to college football in a second, but our friends at CPAP Plus want to make you sleep better, man. I had a bad night's sleep. My dog ate something on a walk or something. He had to get up 3 times in the middle of the night to go outside, so I could have used a little Sleep Home Alabama this morning when I woke up.
Yeah, hey, if you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, visit CPAP Plus, 5 locations throughout the state of Alabama, including 3 convenient locations right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280, and Trustful. The O'Neill brothers, Joe and Woody, want to make sure you are getting that proper sleep night in, night out. It is so important for your health. Stop by today at CPAP Plus. You're going to find the best service and equipment all in stock, ready for you, with hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, where every night matters. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
NFL Combine this week in Indianapolis, where you do the medical exams, the team interviews, all of that, and then eventually we get on the field. I think the first on-the-field stuff, I'm always confused by this. Is it Thursday on the field? Do we get on the field before then?
I think it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
I can tell you here in a sec.
Quarterbacks throw on Saturday for those that are going to be throwing. Ty Simpson is one of the guys circled in every media that is covering it as a big combine for Ty Simpson. And people are going to want to see him, throw. And they really are going to want to talk to him. It's a big week for Ty Simpson.
I mean, really, the only one it's not a big week for is Fernando Mendoza. We kind of know he's locked in at 1. He's going to be in Indianapolis, but I think
Is he going to throw?
I don't think I would.
I wouldn't. I'd wait for a pro day and
if I throw it all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have a pro day. If Tom's already on board with me, let's just roll.
I know.
But I think it's big for Drew Aller. I think it's big for Garrett Nussmeier. I think it's big for guys like Cade Klubnik, Carson Beck, obviously Ty Simpson.
Don't you anticipate from your dealings with Simpson, watching him, and from what you've heard in Tuscaloosa, that where he will actually shine is in the individual meetings, which I'm sure we'll have a lot of in Indianapolis.
Coach's son, once he gets on the dry erase board and they start talking offense and schemes, what do you see here? What do you do here?
Yeah. Well, and I think if you just put a highlight package together with some of his most difficult throws this year, those are the ones that are going to wow all front office guys.
You know, Brooks sent that out at Next Round Live, and it's funny because one of the throws that's on there was a throw I saw back in the season, and it jumped out at me, and I'd have to go back and even remember who the opponent was. I think it was Tennessee.
Yeah, outside numbers throw?
Yeah, over a defender. And no, I think we're talking about different throws. Anyway, that's irrelevant. It's just amazing because a lot of the footage that Brooks put out is shot from the end zone, and you don't see that view a lot. You know, most of the view you see as just a normal viewer is the sideline view. And you don't get to see a lot of all 22, and you don't get to see a lot of end zone. And you watch some of his throws from the end zone view behind the quarterback, and you're like, dang, that was a good throw. I did not realize just how good that throw was based on what he was looking at. So, you know, you got to remember, these NFL teams, they're looking at the different stuff. We're looking at one game. They're watching a totally different game with this guy.
Yeah, other guys that are being mentioned that it's a big week for, one of them is Caden Proctor. And according to the people that cover the sport, what do you think the concern is on Caden Proctor?
Desire. I think weight gain possibly.
That was the one. They want to see. They want to check with him about if he's able to physically stay at a place where they think he can be productive in the NFL.
Where do they? Did they give a number where they want him to be?
No, not an actual weight number. They're just worried about conditioning. You know, I think that all goes into want, desire, and all that. Every word you use, it comes down to physical.
I mean, that's his benefit, is how massive he is and how athletic he is. So, you know, I think he's actually going to have a big combine. But on the other side, you worry about him getting too big.
Yeah, 6'7", 360 was the media guide size. I don't know if you guys think that's close or.
He is easily the biggest human being that has ever sat down and done an interview with us.
Oh, I bet he shits Yorkies.
And he is absolutely one of the just one of the biggest people I've ever been around, period. He is a.
It was SEC Media Days in Atlanta when he sat on our set. Very nice kid. And it was an enjoyable interview. And he got up, and Lance said, you know, all I could think about in that interview is how does he use a normal toilet? And I was like, you know, that was not what I was thinking, but you're right.
You know, it's strange, but in my man room downstairs, my toilet is not like a universal toilet. It's smaller.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know why. It's just like, it's not like crazy small, but it's a little smaller than a regular toilet. And there is not a chance that if Caden Proctor came over and had an issue, like he just couldn't do it.
I don't know what weight they want him at. I don't know that he was 360 at Alabama. I don't know where he even played. He's a big guy, though. And, you know, I don't know where the NFL wants him. So you're saying one of the things will be his measurables, not his interviews, not his work on the field, that when he hits that scale.
Well, I think it'll be done in the exams, but also in the interview process, to all the adjectives that LT used there. Will they be able to figure out if he's got a fire to I mean, it's hard to stay when you're that big, to stay right where you need to be peak performance. It's hard for anybody, obviously, but when you're 367 or whatever he is, if he goes 5 pounds in the wrong direction, all of a sudden he's half a step slow and he's getting your quarterback killed.
Yeah, and if like we can gain 3, 4, 5 pounds on a given weekend, I mean, what can that frame gain? Yeah. And, you know, and that's going to be some of the questions, like how do you maintain, like what's the ideal weight for you? Okay, it's 360 pounds. Well, how do you maintain that?
There's the off season. I know how you maintain it when we're watching you every day.
It is such a big combine for him in both the interviews and the measurables, because he could be a first-round guy. But then if they don't like what they hear, this is a guy that could fall to third round.
Hey, and by the way, and I know this is weird, but we've said this, and you, smartest audience in the world, you know this. He's in a better situation in Tuscaloosa than he is in a lot of NFL situations because of the medical setup, the sports training facilities they built over there, the weight room, the regimen that he's under, less free time, the nutrition.
And where is he in the offseason? He's still in Tuscaloosa. And that's the thing. That's what they're going to want to see is when you're in our facility every day and we're in season and we're working every day, I know I can keep the weight off of you. It's once the season ends in, January and you're not back until camp in May, what do you look like?
And you're not running down and eating the meals we have prepared.
That's right. Yeah. And you're not practicing every day. You're still working.
We all heard it in probably late October, early November that Jeremy Bernard was not 100%. And, it's one of those things that we're not comfortable going on the air because we don't know really the hard details of it. But I think he is a fascinating study, too, in Indianapolis.
I agree.
Because, I guess you've got to be somewhat transparent with the medicals that are going to show up. But if you're Germ, look, my production wasn't what it would have been, what it was, back in 24 because I was battling injuries. And you just wonder how long-term that injury has been and how long moving forward it will be.
Yeah, the medical takes up a couple of different sessions at the Combine. You arrive, registration, pre-exam, orientation, team interviews. Next day, general medical exam, pre-ordered studies, team interviews. I think the pre-ordered studies are things that the NFL teams want to look at specifically.
That's like, I know a receiver tore an ACL, so I want to have a study done on his knee.
Yeah. On Wednesday, the third day that you're actually at the Combine, ortho exam. So every day there's something medical.
My gosh.
Yeah.
They do this at a hospital.
Yeah. Fourth day is the measurements on the field workouts. Friday is the bench press and depart Indianapolis. That's the place kickers, DL, linebackers weeks, and then it's all staggered another day for everyone else.
Yeah, but everybody does that routine. It's just what day you started.
That's right. It's just one day off, and it's all the way from the D linemen and linebackers to the DBs, tight ends, then the weekend gets you the running backs, the quarterbacks, and the wide out, and the last ones to go will be the offensive lineman. One other guy that is that could be the difference between a first round or not this week at the Combines is Thompson High, Clemson star Peter Woods, because everything is a first round draft pick, except they say on the field results. And some of that could be that your teammates around you, you're coaching, the team you're on.
It could be.
Right.
But that would be the biggest red flag and concern for me, right?
Yeah.
It's like you've got, obviously Peter Woods. Before the season, I saw at least one mock draft that had him number 1 overall. And there were so many with Caden Proctor and Peter Woods. They were all the mock drafts were littered with those guys going in the top 10 or top 15. And to think that a guy like Woods could drop out of the first round now based on not being productive on the field is pretty crazy. But you're right. It could be something where he's getting doubled and triple teamed.
That's right. So they'll look at that, and they want to talk to him about that. So that's the Combine, 3 guys to keep an eye on this week as they roll to Indianapolis. Let's do the college football spotlight. Something big happened as we were wrapping up the show over the weekend, and something big could be happening with the target rule. It's all in our spotlight today, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight
is presented by our guy, Alexander Shinara. Shinara Spotlight every single day, Shinara.com, Shinara.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case with Alexander Shinara. This is a guy that was born in Birmingham, raised in Birmingham. He's a Birmingham guy. So when he built his firm, he wanted to make sure he would build a firm that would handle anything his community has faced. He has done just that right here in Birmingham. In fact, to the tune of $2 billion recovered for his clients nationwide. $2 billion. That's a lot, right? Well, he's done it by keeping a few core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. That's our guy, Alexander Shinara. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
Joey Aguilar at Tennessee denied another year, and I guess he's going to start preparing for the NFL draft or whatever. But this is the Vol quarterback battle, and it supposedly will be a real battle. George McIntyre, Faison Brandon, Ryan Staub.
I think McIntyre was the hot name when he came in there. In fact, when he first committed, I think I remember people like, Nico's just buying time until McIntyre can beat him out. Well, you didn't anticipate Nico bolting the way he did. So I think McIntyre would be the favorite here. I don't know.
Well, you got one kid that is coming straight from high school, was one of the tops of 2026. The Staub kid transferred in, and McIntyre has been the guy that has, learned this system from Heupel for the last couple of years. So I would think he's definitely the favorite right now.
Yeah, but Faison Brandon is the 5-star.
Yeah, he's the hot name.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and listen, true freshmen aren't true freshmen like they used to be, but starting that would be interesting. I think it'll be McIntyre, but like you said, it is a true battle, and I don't think we can rule out the fact that Aguilar could file appeals and maybe get this thing reversed and maybe be back in there at some point.
Maybe.
I used maybe a lot in those sentences.
Yeah, but
I don't think we need to rule anything out at this point in college athletics.
At some point in the summer, we will do our a quarterback battle, who we think wins it and who will be the starter. I probably right now would take Faison Brandon.
I'll go McIntyre.
I would go McIntyre.
Yeah, so I think Brandon eventually, his star power will get him on the field as the starting quarterback. The NCAA targeting rule is going to be discussed tomorrow and Wednesday, and then they will, by the rules committee, then they will disperse their discussion to all the college football people, and then they'll come back in March, and the rules committee will vote on whether to change the rule or not. At the forefront is whether or not to have the carryover punishment for the targeting rule. They'll keep the 15-yard and the ejection in the game, but no matter when it happens in the second half, to not have it carry over to the next game. Are you in favor of that or not in favor of that?
That's a step in the right direction. Again, I think they need to evaluate the whole ejection portion of it as well and have, like an F1, F2 type thing. But I think this is a step in the right direction where, all right, kid gets ejected first play of the second half. That's enough.
Yeah.
Why miss another half of action?
Well, the NFL gets this thing right. You watch an NFL game after watching a full Saturday in college, and you immediately see a hit, and you're like, they're going to throw a flag, and they don't. Like, they are so much better at being able to figure out what is targeting and what's not, and throwing those premature flags.
They can also penalize with a fine, which they frequently do, after the games.
Well, by the way, you can start doing that now at this level.
You used to not. There was a time where you couldn't do that, but now that players are making money, you wonder if a fine system might slow some of this
If I'm a head coach, that's what I'm pulling for.
Yeah, because who pays the fine, right?
But yeah, this shouldn't be carried over.
Yeah, carryover
stupid.
was silly.
So Tuesday, Wednesday discussion, they'll circulate everything they want to change it to, and then it'll come back for an official vote in March. So by the time we get to spring practice and spring games, we should know whether the carryover punishment in targeting in college football is here. By the way, one other thing they're discussing is uniforms. Pant length, there's already a rule that needs to cover the knee. Nobody covers the knees anymore. Nope. And ironically, Deion Sanders is one of the coaches leading the charge. He says, I played the game at a high level. The pants need to cover your knees. And these short shorts and not having your pads in there. He's upset also about multiple mouthpieces, things like that. He
doesn't really bother me, but I don't get it either.
Deion Sanders says in the NFL there's a uniform rule. We need to have that in college football. It needs to be enforced with a penalty flag, one warning. Then after that, it's a take away a timeout. If you don't have a timeout, it's a delay a game. So that's something that they're going to discuss as well. So maybe some uniform enforcement coming to college football as well. One more thing to get to before we get to Seth Greenberg, being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club today. Man, the weather chilled off for a day, but by the end of the week, it's going to be back golfing weather, tennis weather, and soon pool weather at Inverness Country Club.
Is this too cold for you guys to get out there right now?
100%. Not playing today, no doubt.
They do have memberships that fit everyone. You can find your sense of community at the Inverness Country Club, from the social, the golf, the racket, childcare. Also a big plus, you and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, you can drop the kid right there on site. Go have yourself a day on the court or course. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. Best days happen there. To take a tour of the club, call Aaron. Tell her the next round sent to 205-991-8608. You can always go online for more information. Go to iccalabama.com.
And when it comes time to update the rooms in your house, my guy Brad Bell is on standby, ready to work for you. Scott's going to show you some before and afters if you're watching us. If not, or if you want to see more, go to alabamabathroommodels.com, alabamabathroommodels.com. Here's Brad's number, 205-422-1758. That's a 205 area code, 422-1758. What Brad specializes in is master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. It's not to say it's all he does, but it is his specialty. And why that's important is you spend a lot of time in those rooms when you own your home, but when you go to sell your home, you'll make some of your money back on those rooms as well. So Brad knows it's critical. When it came time to redo our master bath, my wife scoured the internet. The right person for the job she found was Brad Bell. AlabamaBathRemodels.com or 205-422-1758.
So I'm standing there watching Kentucky and Auburn warm up Saturday night at Neville Arena, and the guy I'm talking to, Hoppy from Fox 6, says, "You know who that guy is right there?" And I was like, "I don't. I know who he's talking to, but I don't know who that is." That's Neville. That's the guy who's the arena.
That's his arena.
Yeah.
Good seat, I would hope.
Yeah. And I said, "You know who is standing next to him?" That's Les Snead, Rams general manager.
I saw he was in the building.
Was back in the building down there.
I got a text from a buddy that took a picture with Snead in a box, and he was like, your boy's in the house tonight.
I bet Les was glad you weren't there, right, Lance? You'd have been chatting.
Probably was.
You'd have been those guys. They kept showing, you didn't see this, they kept showing Bruce Pearl, poor Bruce, standing there just trying to watch the game. And like under 2 minutes, they show him one guy.
Oh, you think Bruce minds the camera on him?
No. I'm talking about the one guy that's leaned in talking his ear off. And you could tell Bruce was completely disconnected from the conversation.
Les Snead and Sean McVay and the Rams organization, we were talking rules, proposing a rule change to the NFL.
Well, again, I think we knee-jerk on some of these, and it's the 2-point going back to it was the biggest, most impactful play.
It really was.
Of the NFL season was the 2-point conversion that took over 100 seconds for them to go back and review that ultimately tied the game in Seattle on that Thursday night. But the Rams, are very involved in getting this looked at. And this is kind of like when we had the A&M LSU, 8-9 overtime game,
so
and we immediately changed it.
Yeah.
So we had the pass interference on the Rams that wasn't called in the NFC Championship game back in 2018, and we immediately changed it. I just think it's kind of knee-jerk, one incident to change something entirely.
What they're talking about, if you don't remember, is a regular season game. The pass hits Jared Verse's helmet, but it ends up being not a forward pass. It ends up being a lateral because of where Verse's helmet was. Charbonnet picked it up. Was ruled a failed situation. Ends up being a converted 2 points. As LT said, long delay. Actually, Terry McCauley on the NBC broadcast is the one that called the NFL, according to this report I was reading. He's the one that actually called the NFL Review Center.
Probably at Seattle that night.
Yeah. So they weren't even reviewing it.
No, he actually, and that's what I got to. I sent this out on Twitter a couple of weeks ago, and people were like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he is a paid employee of Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
He should not be calling the NFL office.
I'm kind of with you on that.
It's not a phone call. They're in contact.
They are, because he frequently says, guys, this is under review for that. So he's hearing the communication.
So they've got to talk back with the interview room. But apparently he is the one that said, guys, the replay is showing that's a lateral and it's an immediate continuing action.
You should not do that.
Yeah, Terry McCauley.
And that's what the Rams want. A clearer definition on immediate continuing action.
Yeah.
And that's what they're looking at. Seth Greenberg coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by our friends at Bojangles, where we've got a new addition to the menu that is so good, Brad.
It's the Bojangler, right? It is that Alaskan pollock filet right there, and you can get the Bojangler Deluxe that adds lettuce, pickles, tomato, and cheese, and it comes with tartar sauce on there as well. It is fantastic. You can also start your day the right way, putting up threes with a triple-double biscuit with triple protein, sausage, egg, and bacon, double cheese, all on a scratch-made biscuit. And you can try that with the Bojangles' new iced coffee for that slam dunk that Jim is mentioning. Finish any meal with a brand new strawberry cobbler at your local Bojangles, where you can make it bow time. Seth Greenberg talks hoops next.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777, or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Let's
everything
go
online
racing.
at Champy's.
It's
Chicken
time
for the
.com.
Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobile One Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
We went in depth on Auburn and Alabama in the first hour of the show. Let's bounce around the rest of the country and the rest of the SEC, Brownie, with our buddy Seth Greenberg.
You see him on ESPN Game Day and in the studio on ESPN as well. He's with us now on the Alexander Schnarr Trial Attorney Hotline. Welcome in, Coach. How are you today?
What's up, guys? We got Bud Light, we got Coca-Cola, we got Bojack, we got it all. I mean, you guys are living your best lives.
We are. We've got a lot of mouths to
feed. If I get in an accident, I know where to go now.
You do, yeah. When you're back.
This doesn't get any better than this for me. I just hope I don't get in an accident. We got a blizzard out here, so, I mean, you guys are living a life.
Oh, yeah, you're up on the East Coast. It's awful, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. I'm sitting in a hotel room in Bristol so I can get to work.
So Coach, when is the last time you had a cold beer and fried chicken together?
I don't drink beer, so I don't have it at any. But I've eaten a lot of fried chicken, I can tell you that much. And if I drank beer, boys, just for you guys, whatever you're selling, I'm buying.
Hey, Mark Pope is selling a bitter pill after his loss down at Auburn this weekend. You watched that Auburn-Kentucky game, and we get this sometimes in officiating. You know, I think Tennessee-Vandy was a very physical game too. What do you make of Mark Pope right now at Kentucky and where his team is? It's been a tough ride for him.
It's been a tough ride. The expectation there is incredible, and the pressure there is incredible. Mark is a very even-keeled guy. He sees the bright side of everything. That was the first time I've actually seen him really react in that way. He takes things personally. Look, we've all been in that situation where we've had a tough call at the end of the game. We can't change it. It is what it is. You got to get to the next play. The one thing is, if you harp on it, it is going to become a hangover. So, like in his meeting with his team today, it better be, that's in the rearview mirror. We got to get next play. Because as a coach, we always tell our players to get to the next play. Well, you know what? As a coach, you've got to get to the next play. So that thing's in the rearview mirror. Watch the film, learn from it, do a better job maybe of a dead ball inbound or getting the ball inbound underneath legally. Was it a foul? Wasn't it a foul? It was called a foul, so it's a foul. It was a hard-fought game. We can't micro dissect every single play in every game, because you'd find other plays that went the other way, that went in Kentucky's favor instead of instead of Auburn's favor. So, look, the pressure there is immense. They spent a lot of money on their roster. People expect great things, and it's all part of the profession. I think right now we have some coaches across the board acting a little crazy. We got coaches at UTEP and New Mexico screaming at each other. We got Mick Cronin losing his mind. We've got all these different things going on. Coach your team, man. Lose yourself in your team. The most important thing are those guys in the locker room. How good can you help your guys in that locker room be prepared for the next game? So it's easier said than done. I wasn't perfect at it, I can tell you that. But I think actually Stephen Pearl's done a really good job of handling it about as well as you can handle it.
So should Bill Self be one of these guys that is losing his mind? I mean, arguably, the best resume for an active coach, year 23, he's got multiple national championships. But this Darren Peterson situation is really amazing. When you look at their 27 games they've played, he's played 25 or less minutes in 18 of those 27 games. And look, these kids are getting paid now. He's making a lot of money. A lot of people believe he's going to be the number one overall guy in June. But as a former coach, when you sit and watch this thing play out and what it's doing to the other guys on this team, how does Bill Self, ultimately, how do you handle this thing?
Well, he's handled the best he can. I think the other day he finally had enough of it. He says, you want to change the narrative? Play. Plain and simple. You control the narrative. If you decide to pull yourself out, it's more like how Darren Peterson has not played. He plays the first half, he scores 23 points or whatever in 18 minutes, and then he turns around and just, I don't feel well. How it handles in the locker room. Here's my take on the thing. First of all, there's a difference between being injured and inconvenienced. Now, I don't know where he's at in that thing, but when a guy drops 18 or 23 in the first half, and then he obviously gets a little tightened up, that's inconvenience to me. That's just me. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't understand soft tissue stuff. I just know, dudes, guys that love the game, go out and play. Stop treating them like an object. Treat them like a member of the team. The second thing is, be someone other people can count on. That's really what your locker room's about. You want to have a group of guys that are someone that other people can count on. So look, the guys in the locker room are saying all the right things. They're saying all the right things. Here's the deal. It's not the locker room. It's the circle of influence of the guys in the locker room. Because the static that those guys are hearing, I guarantee you, from everyone around them is, Darren's being treated differently. Darren picks and chooses when he's going to want to play. Darren just can kind of walk off the court and say, I've had enough. We're up 18. I'm done playing. And that in the locker room is hard to manage for a head coach, because you can't control the static that's around a player. You can control when he's in your environment, but when he's outside of your environment, the other guys, and where it's manifesting in their play this past weekend. It's manifesting in how they're defending. It's manifesting in the energy. It's manifesting in their spacing. It's manifesting a little bit in their shot selection across the board and their ball movement. So Bill Self's a master communicator, but they've got to get this thing fixed, because with him, they're really dangerous, but only with him if everyone buys into the good of the group, not with him, hey, Darren's on the court. Yeah, he's on the court. He makes the game easier. He can make buckets. But how are we functioning when he's on the court? How are we functioning? Are we connected defensively? Are we talking defense? Offensively? Are we all looking for him, or are we all trying to make plays that's in the best interest of our team? Because finding a way to play with a great player, and he's a great player, and finding that balance between letting that guy go off and also everyone else being aggressive. Like, their best win was Arizona without him. right? You think about the games Melvin Council. Melvin Council's got to figure out a way to still be aggressive and play with him. Trey Waite's got to figure out a way to still be aggressive and play with him. Flory Bedinga's got to be a focal point of the offense, but Darren Peterson's got to get his touches. So it's a slippery slope.
Coach Seth Greenberg with us from ESPN. He is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. There's another sponsor for you, Coach. We got plenty
There we
of them.
go. I hope I don't get in trouble, but if I need him, I'll call him.
Yeah, he's excellent. Yeah, but he's the guy you hope you don't need. Hope you don't need. We see it in this state with Kalen DeBoer trying to follow Nick Saban. Following a legend is near impossible. Jon Scheyer, though, is doing it about as well as anybody has done it early on. Why is that? What is Scheyer doing, who now your colleague Joe Lunardi says is the number 1 overall seed after that win against Michigan Saturday? Why is it working so well for him in this situation?
Because Jon Scheyer is comfortable in his own skin. Jon Scheyer is himself. He's unapologetically himself. This is Jon Scheyer's basketball program. This isn't Coach K's basketball program. Coach K is the patriarch of the program, but this program is being run in Sean Scheyer's vision. He hired Rachel Baker, who's his GM, who's been a brilliant hire. She was the head of grassroots basketball for Nike. She's terrific. But in terms of coaching, how he interacts with his team, how he's scheduled, the style of play, there's really very little in common between what Coach K did and what John's doing, because John is basically taking this program and he's running it in his own vision. You think about the spacing, you think about inverting the offense, you think about just the idea of putting Sarr on Cadeau the other night, all right, taking off the head of the snake. Think about late game. They ran 3 times in a row. I mean, it was terrific. Michigan was switching most of the game, then they switched to staying home. So what does he do? Back screen, Isaiah Evans gets a lob. Back screen with a different guy, catch and rip, drives the closeout. Back screen with Boozer, they help on the back screen. He steps out, they drive baseline, he kicks back, knocks down a 3. So, like, Jon Scheyer is a very smart guy, but one thing Jon Scheyer is, he's unapologetically himself. It obviously pays tribute to Coach K and the legend and the history of the brotherhood, but he's doing it in his own way, and he's made that very clear across the board. And he hasn't been intimidated by following Coach. I think he's used the benefit of the tradition of Duke as a former player and playing for Coach, but he's also doing it in his own way.
I think I remember seeing you at the Battle for Boutwell from our broadcast area to back in the preseason. Does this Alabama team look the way you thought they were going to look back in November, or has it played out the way you thought it was going to play out for this Alabama team?
They're playing their best basketball. They're not checking anyone. I think they will get better defensively, but I mean, they're easy to score them, but you got to stop them. And part of the reason they're easy to score is to creating that space, that pace of play, which is so important. But yeah, Amari Allen being healthy is huge. I think he's an absolute matchup problem. We know how obvious LeBaron. I think Aiden Sherrill, I think that's been the key. I think the big thing, and you guys are going to think I'm crazy, all the Bediako stuff is in the rearview mirror. We've spent so much time talking about Bediako, the impact, the rim protection, this and that. And all of a sudden, Aiden was that he wasn't even in the conversation. The guy wasn't even in the conversation. Now all of a sudden, well, Bediako's not there. Oh, Aiden's our guy now. All right. And we got to utilize him. And he's not settling. He's carving out space. He's using those great hands of his. He's finding 50-50 balls off the backboard. I think that they were distracted for a period of time with the Bediako thing. And how can you not be? But now they said, all right, this is our team. This is who we are. This is how we're going to win. They got to improve a little bit defensively, but if they can, offensively, that what they're doing and how they're doing it, that Arkansas game was unbelievable. I was a pure fan in the Arkansas game. I was in the studio and I was screaming at the TV like the shots that were made in that game. That was blanking believable.
Yeah. I think I heard Seth say Alabama's better without Bediako.
That's what you've been saying. Yes.
100%.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So So, Coach,
because everyone knows where to stand.
Yeah,
exactly.
Why are we not talking more about the Florida Gators? They've won 12 of 13, the defending national champions. That front court, the versatility, how they can do absolutely everything, and the back court is starting to really round into shape. How good do you think Florida is, and is this the only team in the SEC that you believe could ultimately win a national championship?
Well, fellas, I don't know who you're talking about weak, because maybe it's you guys. We talk about them all the time. Early in the season, we didn't talk about them so kindly. But in the last, look, coaching agility. I mean, the coaching agility of Todd Golden's been terrific. And, just the way Ruben Shinyalu's playing is like off the charts. He gobbles up rebounds like it's Pac-Man. But that front court is dominating. But it took time. I mean, you went to the portal. You got these two guards. They're good players. They got to figure out how to play with two guards as opposed to those three dynamic guards they had last year. We got to figure out how to play with the three big guys together. I think they're terrific. I think the job Todd's done is amazing. And I do think they are a national championship contender. The guards don't have to be great. They just can't turn it over. They got to guard the ball. Boogie's improved defensively, which is really important. Xavier's improved defensively, and he's making some shots, which is really important. But those three guys up front, four guys actually up front, and they've got an 8-man rotation because Brown's given them a wing sub. They've got a point guard sub who can shoot it, and they've got a front court sub. And that's exactly this time of the year. You want 8. You can't keep 10 happy. Like we were talking about Kentucky, I think Mark Pope's such a good guy. He wants to keep everyone happy. Like being a head coach is a dictatorship in a lot of ways. All right, you got to get 6, 7, 8 guys playing well together. All right, and then other guys can work their way in. But it's hard to get 8 guys playing together when you're subbing so much that they don't develop that chemistry. So I think Florida's really good. There's a couple things. Like, can Darius Acuff have a Shabazz Napier type run in the NCAA tournament? Yeah, well, can Arkansas rebound the ball well enough and and defend well enough? They got to stop people. Alabama, can they impose their identity on the game the way they put pressure on you offensively and just improve a little bit better defensively? They might make a run. The thing about the league is that everyone's beating each other up. It's hard to be consistent because every single time you play, if you don't play well, you're not winning. And I want to say one thing: Stephen Pearl's done a hell of a job. His dad, and I look, Bruce is one of my dearest friends. I love Stephen to death, but he inherited one player. And inheriting one player and being a head coach and having a whole new team. What he's done dealing with the potholes and the detours of the season, he's beaten Arkansas. He's beaten Kentucky. He's beaten Patino. He's won 5 games. He's got 5 quad 1 wins. He's just got to win a couple more games. But what he's done like people say, he got the job. Yeah, he's Bruce Pearl's son, but he also helped build that thing. And he also has paid his dues, and he didn't miss steps. And coaching is hard. And coaching is hard when you have a whole new team, and it's your first time you've been a head coach. But he's done a really good job, and he's handled it because he's a pretty intense guy. I think he's handled the ups and downs really well. And the other thing he's handled is having discipline within the program. Like you can say, well, he should have played Keyshawn Hall. Maybe they beat Arkansas. They might have beaten Arkansas. He also might have lost his team. He might have lost his ability to coach his team because you got to have some type of guidelines. You got to have some type of accountability within your program. And that was a hard message to send, but I think a valuable one, big picture.
And also in 2 games brought Pettiford off the bench because Pettiford wasn't falling in line. So that's his 2 best players, and I know from a coaching perspective, you've coached way more than we've never coached a game. Those are hard to do as coaches in a first year, especially.
Really, it is really hard. You got to say, all right, I'm drawing a line in the sand. If big picture, we're not putting a Band-Aid on this thing. Big picture, all right, what are we thinking about? Like, you put a Band-Aid, you can play those guys, maybe steal a game. But big picture, 100%, all right, you've got to have it's not a rite of passage to play. It's a privilege. And it's not a rite of passage to decide when you're going to practice hard, when you're not, or when you're going to make good decisions, or when you're not. Team has got to be a collective responsibility. And if you don't have that, right, then all of a sudden you've got a bunch of independent contractors and you have no chance. So I think Steven's done a really good job.
Yeah. And thanks, Dad, for leaving us the toughest schedule in Auburn basketball history. Yeah.
Bruce absolutely screwed him.
Coach Seth Greenberg, hey, seriously, stay safe up there. That's a lot of that much snow here. You'd be reading our will and testament. But you guys, you'll survive.
It's crazy.
You'll
appreciate you.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Pleasure talking with you. That is Seth Greenberg, ESPN. See him on game day. See him in the studio all week long on ESPNU is with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Basketball over the weekend, a lot of basketball at LancesLock.com all the way through that first weekend in April. College basketball, one of the mainstays right there at LancesLock.com, brought to you by Hemphill.
Yeah, look, we try to be transparent. Rough weekend. We bounce back. We've got 3 plays. We've got 2 in college basketball, 1 in the NBA. Jump on board. Free play every single day at LancesLock.com. But as always, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Glad I got my gas fireplace redone. They came out on Thursday because of this weather right now. Chili and Bullet really appreciate that. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And 4 Downs presented each day by Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. When you hear that name, you're like, all right, tell me more. I need a little pad done, a parking pad. I need some small driveway work done. And then I'm going to tell you, well, they're trusted on major state, major government, major municipal roadway projects that you see across Central Alabama. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's not who I use. No, could not be further from the truth. They have an entire division focused entirely on private driveways, smaller asphalt projects. Good news is you don't skimp there. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards you get on the big state and federal jobs, no matter the size of the job. That's what they bring to you. So from highways to neighborhoods, Central Alabama Asphalt is client-oriented and quality-focused. Here's the number to get an estimate on your job, 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Bobby Bonilla, 63 years old. Better career, Bobby Bonilla, Bobby Filet.
Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said Filet. I was like, who is Bobby Filet? Big steak guy.
I'm sure he can do a
Bobby
good
Filet. I think I could go Bobby Flay on this one. Now, Bonilla is unfortunately had a good playing career, but he's most known for the Bobby Bonilla Day that comes up every July when
Which
he
you
gets
gotta
paid.
factor that
you
in,
do.
though.
I mean, that
Yeah.
was his agent more than Bobby probably, but still Bobby was the receiving end.
I remember Bonilla more with the Pirates, and I thought he was fantastic there. Not a big chef guy, Bobby Bobby Flay. I know who it is, but the Fiore, Flay, all those, give me Bobby Bonilla, especially teammates with Barry Bonds, right?
Oh,
with
yeah.
those Pittsburgh
Barry
Pirates
Bonds,
teams.
Andy Vance-like.
And then
That was a good
Gary
lineup.
Sheffield and Kevin Brown with the Marlins, and then obviously the Mets where he really made bank.
Where he got the deal that
But
we
he-
still talk about to this day.
But he won the World Series with the Marlins,
Yes.
right? That Leland team that was bought.
That was bought and paid for in 97.
Yeah.
Second down.
Tom Osborne, 89 years old today. Better career, Tom Osborne or Tom Selleck?
I think I'll go Tom Osborne on this one. Not only as a coach, but ended up being United States Congressman. That's a pretty good transition.
What was his best bill?
Jim, they had the bill that restored the original landowner rights in the state of Nebraska. They had lost that in the 1942 Greater Works bill.
That's not true.
Well, and
Tom Osborne introduced 0 bills in his time in
Oh,
Congress.
you don't know
He
that.
brought the first dispensary to Omaha back in the day.
It's Tom Osborne because I think he was.
He's got 3 national championships.
Yeah, who was the big coach? I think he was an assistant with the big legend.
Devaney?
Yeah,
Bob Devaney,
I think he was a Devaney assistant.
I think you're right.
So he took over. He's one of the
Yeah.
guys we never talk about that he took over for a legend and
Yeah.
he did well, but it took a while. Like it wasn't instant success.
They were good, but he was always the hard luck New Year's Day team.
That's right.
So back in the day for you youngs, the New Year's Day bowls were the key bowls, but they were all played at different times, overlapping sometimes, and a lot of times the number 1 team was playing the number 4 team while the number 2 team was playing the number 8 team. It was a stupid system we had. But there were a lot of times, Lance, where Tom Osborne would go into that game in Miami with a chance to win the national championship and get heartbroken.
Yeah, and
that's
look,
what he was known
and
for.
For Auburn fans that want to claim the 83 championship, they got to thank Tom Osborne because all he had to do was kick an extra point, and they win the national championship.
Yeah, they
he
tie
decided
Miami.
to go for the outright win.
Yep.
Went for the 2, didn't get it. But
Maybe he started the Miami dynasty because if they don't win that national championship, I don't know what Miami. I don't know if.
I mean, they're still good, but
If
you're right.
Schnellenberger
Yeah.
leaves like that, and if it turns into what it turns into, you never
But
know.
correct me if I'm wrong. I think Osborne was somewhat influential on Frank Solich losing his job. Now, Frank Solich got the job as an offensive coordinator long time under Osborne, but then Solich was winning 10, 11 games a year, and it wasn't good enough.
Well, again, Solich, one of those guys. I brought it up with Shire. You mentioned Osborne doing it well. Shire has done it well. Solich is one of the guys that gets mentioned as a failure following a legend. It is really, really hard to do because Solich was a really good football coach, and based on what Nebraska has become, they would take the Solich years in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But they follow Tom Osborne, and that's why I would go Osborne over Tom Selleck. Though I like Tom Selleck.
Yeah, I'd go Osborne as well.
Third down.
We began the show with a great American moment. On this day in 1945, the Marines raised the U.S. flag on Iwo Jima. What is the best still shot photo you guys have ever seen? That's one of them.
That one's incredible, and the story behind it's even more incredible. Great book called Flags of Our Fathers. Clint Eastwood made a movie based on that book.
That movie not nearly as good as the other one he made, though, Iwo Jima. Did you see Letters from Iwo Jima?
I've not seen Letters from Iwo Jima. Is it good?
Incredible, yeah.
Yeah, the book Flags of Our Fathers, I wish I could remember the author's name. The book is spectacular. There is and I know you're like, it's a book about a photo. There is so much in that photo. Which, what many people don't know, that was the second raising of the flag there on Iwo Jima. It was not the original. It was after the battle had died down. One of the admirals on the ship was like, that flag's too small. Go get a big American flag up there. So they're actually raising a big American flag. Some of the guys were misidentified in the photo. The photographer didn't even know he had the photo, I think, till it got sent back to New York City. Like, he sent a roll of film back to the Associated Press and like, oh my God, this photo. Like, he didn't even know he had gotten that photo back in the day. They weren't developing film on Iwo Jima. It's a tremendous story.
Is there a better one? The Jack Hughes that we showed earlier is going to be iconic.
I actually think the Hellebuck save, where he's reaching behind him,
from overhead,
stopping the puck.
That was
over
by
top.
far the best save, the stick save.
Forrester says, hangs out
Muhammad
in the
Ali
loop.
over Sonny Liston.
Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston. He's got his right hand over, his boxing glove over his heart there.
This one's disastrous. Pull the Hindenburg, though.
Oh, it's a legendary one. Yeah.
I mean, that is just to be able to
get. It was used as the cover for a Led Zeppelin album.
Yeah,
the original one.
To get that shot, though.
It's hard to believe that many people showed up to watch a blimp land back in the day, but we didn't have a lot of entertainment back then.
No, we did not. But I mean, that's an iconic photo right there.
That is.
That's crazy.
So it's a tough one you got to take, but it's iconic.
But, I think some people were able to jump out.
It's a long fall, but I think I would have jumped just to risk it. Yeah. That's a bad one right there, but that is a good photo. You're right.
I think I'm gonna go with the Iwo Jima. I think that is the most iconic.
There's the one Dunaway's talking
save.
about. Boy, that is a fantastic photo. So they're up on a catwalk above, Jim? Is that what the deal is?
I don't know. I don't know if they're up there actually taking it or if they have a camera set up where they're pressing buttons and taking photos.
Probably
more
the
likely.
latter. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a heck of a photo, though, right there.
Yeah. I like the way you asked me, Brown.
You tweeted it out. I thought you'd done some investigation on it.
No, I just there's a guy who's credited with that photo, so I don't know if he's up there on a catwalk, if he's on a harness, or if he's pressing a button. But
I'd be pressing a button. Looking down on that, I'd vomit.
Yeah, that's an iconic sports shot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them, though, LT. I mean, not as historic as the one that we're talking about with the American flag, but there's a lot of great sports ones that are just iconic sports ones. Like I used to love the old up top, old school 80s NBA shots where you'd see in the paint, in the rim. We become numb to that now because of the cameras.
Sports wise, it's hard to beat Muhammad Ali over Sonny Liston.
I'll give you another sports one, and when Levy Breaks mentions it, pull up real quick Secretariat at Belmont. Y'all have seen this photo, right, from the inside rail?
Yeah.
And it just shows what a dominant horse Secretariat was, because this is the final race, obviously, of the triple leg. And
better known as the Triple Crown.
Triple Crown. And this far left, or there you go.
Just how far ahead he is.
Just how far ahead Secretariat is. I mean, that's just insane how dominant that horse was. That's a great photo, though.
When you got time to look back and throw the peace sign, you're in a pretty good lead.
That's how you're good.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Probably should have given you guys a heads up on this where you could think about it. But Bear Pasco is 40 years old today.
It's a great moment.
If I asked you your favorite random deep cut from our show.
So for those that don't remember, this is back in the radio days when Dunaway was just, I can't even remember what you were talking about, but you're just riffing on something. You're like, Lance could maybe tell us who the tight end of the 2007 Fresno State team is. Bear Pasco. I mean, Lance without a beat says it. I was like, I got to Google this 100%.
How about me seeing that it was Bear Pasco's birthday today?
Bear Pasco, where did you find that?
Just going through random birthdays.
Deep cut from our show. I was thinking about it this morning for some reason, and don't ask me why I was thinking about this. Jeff from Aniston's very first call to this show. Actually, I'll tell you why I was thinking about it. We were at dinner with some friends Friday night, and Jeff from Aniston came up because he had called the show.
Was that the shit titty dam?
That was it. And Jeff was like, I've always wanted to say that. You know, he couldn't say it on radio, and everybody just laughed, and it was a fun moment. So that's a long time ago.
I tell you, I don't remember much about the moment, but when we were at, I think it was the Charlotte airport, we were heading to Ocean City.
Yeah.
And we did a specialty show from a random bar in the airport. Were we able to set up there?
No, we just had a iPad.
Yeah.
The three of us were together, and I would tilt it to whoever was talking.
Yeah, we did. It was, what's it called? YouTube Live.
Yeah. It was memorable.
Yeah, no, the first specialty shows we did on this platform, I thought was our most transparent.
Yeah. Well, we had so much built up to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those were just that, and the first one from the floor, Bama. Those were great fun shows where there was no filter, didn't worry about what anybody thought.
Yeah. So
love those shows.
The backside of that story is, I go onto our gate, and these two knuckleheads stay at that same airport bar, and they came within a gnat's hair of missing the flight.
Yeah. And now, to our defense, we thought the gate was right outside the bar.
Right.
We didn't know how far away it was.
We would have made it to Ocean City.
These two are back having fun, having a drink together, and I'm at the gate calling them. I'm like, guys, literally, they were saying final boarding call for our flight. Nobody's coming, and then they come huffing.
We did this a couple of times,
Brown. What's Brown calling us?
Brown's interrupted the show.
Never leaves us alone.
I know. I was trying.
So, Jeeves, you were part of it when that was going on?
I wasn't physically there, but I was watching.
Okay. So you were part of the team back then.
Yeah. Samuel says Brian Harsin firing Jim in the Ken costume.
That was good.
That will never lose.
I don't know if that's a deep cut, though.
That's not. That's pretty famous.
That's the way even the specialty shows. I think LT remembering that name, or the knowledge and things he's able to pull out of nowhere. You know, may not remember what he had for lunch yesterday, but he's able to remember who the tight end or the 2007 Fresno State team is. Has always been remarkable to me. It's always been the strength of the show.
Scott put in the chat LT and witness protection.
One
day he joined us on Zoom
from the Bama.
It was from the Bama.
It was from the Bama.
It was our first trip to the Bama because it was like day 4 or 5 that you guys had been back, but I was pushing through up there. But I never got to hear it, so I never knew what it sounded like.
You did sound like.
I mean, it was very. It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yeah, it was weird. We didn't figure. We finally figured it out, right?
Oh yeah, it got fixed.
Yeah, there was
some sort of rate issue or something.
An issue with the audio sample rate. It was different between systems, and so it got all distorted.
I remember our friend Steve Power. He put me in one of their liquor closets.
Yeah, it was the liquor room,
not the liquor room.
Yeah, the distribution room.
No, they did that one time. That was. I think this was the moment where they were like, we need to get rid of this guy, get him out of here. So they put me in an office. It was the only time we had ever done anything up there before, but that was when the sound was really bad. And then the next day I was in the liquor room. Yeah. So I think they were like, okay, he's just not going anywhere.
We ain't going to lose this guy. He's like a fungus.
And that is 4 Downs today, brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of them, our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT will tell you that earlier he was telling you about Central State Bank. They've got that branch right where New York Butcher Shop is, right?
So I had a meeting with Central State on Friday. I walked next door, saw a couple of doors down, saw Jim and Art and all the great butchers there at the New York Butcher Shop. Picked me and Jack up a couple of steaks for the weekend. Had an extra one for last night. Fantastic stuff. The fresh meats from the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork, the in-house sides made fresh every day from the mac and cheese, the goat cheese mashed potatoes. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. Rare quality, well-done service. 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Way to Wellness, so happy that I ate crap all weekend long, but they're happy I'm exercising because it's helping keep me at my desired weight that they got me down to. Aplanforme.com. I get asked all the time because I've talked about Way to Wellness for years. Jim, does it work? And I'm like, yes. Look how old I am and how I've been able to get down from 216 to this. The website is aplanforme.com. You'll get no contracts, so you're not locked into anything. There's no sign-up fees. And there's the first consultation with Leslie and her board-certified team absolutely free. So no really problem to check this out. aplanforme.com, if you want to jumpstart your weight loss. They've got injection therapies and meal replacements and protein bars and a variety of different ways to get you to where you want to be in life. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the garage experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Man, you talk about something good on a cold day, a surprisingly cold day. Your mind had already shifted into spring and summer, 70s and 80s, and now, boom, high of 44 and windy out there. How about some nice, warm Mississippi Delta recipe tamale with a little seasoned heat as well. They're so good to have for lunch or dinner. Start off the meal. That southern fried chicken that comes out piping hot because it's cooked to order. It's brined overnight. It is absolutely delicious. The kids love it too. The hand-cut chicken fingers and so much more. It's all right there. Highway 119 in Alabaster, champieschecken.com. Alabama's won 6 straight games in a row. So, of course, Nick Kelly and Mike Rodak reporting. Charles Bediako has filed an appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court after he was denied his motion in circuit court from Nick Kelly. He's seeking as well a preliminary injunction as well. He's seeking an interim injunctive relief allowing him to play while the appeal is pending, which would make him eligible again to play if they go down that road. Mike Rodak, I believe 24/7 Alabama. The appeal is to the Alabama Supreme Court. The request for interim injunctive relief that would allow Bediako to play while appeal is pending is being made to Circuit Court Judge Daniel Pruitt, who denied the motion for the preliminary injunction on February the 9th.
Feels like that's a bad sign for Bediako. I know you didn't like it then. Do you like it now?
Yeah. So they're going to the Supreme Court and going to see what happens. I guess this continues to be supported by Nate Oates and Greg Byrne in the Alabama Athletic Department, who have stood by Bediako in the past.
Or do you continue to fight because you've been guaranteed your money and it's optics, it looks good?
I don't know. There are a lot of questions here.
I mean, I still haven't heard. I haven't got the confirmation whether or not he's guaranteed that money.
Yeah.
But I think we all assume he is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, I don't know how much money, but here, I mean, it is a bit conflicting because you say it, Jim, Seth Greenberg, more importantly, no offense to you, Jim, but Seth Greenberg, who's coached the game and watching from a distance, brings it up. You're not alone in saying it. A lot of people say they're a better team without him. Yet, how did we talk about Alabama's win over LSU? Aiden Sherrill was amazing again. He's probably Alabama's MVP right now, but...
Yeah, Nate Oates actually addressed that afterwards. Cut 3, Tyler. Here's Nate Oates on first getting his guys rested after a long week, but then he gets into what Brownie's talking about, Aiden Sherrill, when he's out of the game.
We got to get our legs back up under us. Obviously, the double overtime game on Wednesday, may have still been a little bit to do with that. I don't know, but we'll be off tomorrow. Get their legs back under them by Wednesday, against Mississippi State. Hopefully we can keep the defensive effort from the guards, and particularly Wrightsell and Holloway, and then, get a lot better on the glass, rebound it better, keep Aiden Sherrill out of foul trouble. Him fouling out and him only being able to play 20 minutes tonight really hurt us because he in 20 minutes he had 4 blocks, he had a double-double. He was really doing some damage in there. So for him to foul out, that really hurt us. But we've got to have some guys be able to step up because he may be in foul trouble like in March and whatever, and we got to get some other guys play a little bit better when he's out of the game and rest him. So, but good road win. We've got 4 games left. We got to stay locked in. We got Mississippi State coming. They just beat Auburn middle of the week, and Hubbard had 46, so we're going to have to be ready to play against them.
Yeah, so finding somebody after Sherrill is still a talking point, and now Bediako's case is back on the forefront.
Well, if I'm coaching against Nate Oates in Alabama, I'm identifying Sherrill, and that's who we're going after. Like, I'm trying to get him in foul trouble.
Yeah, maybe take a little beating early on just to get him off the court because you can make a run when he's off the court.
Yeah. Drive is what you're saying.
Drive. Or if you have moments where you can insert one of your bigs or somebody that, is a guy that you can afford to give some fouls to, get them in there to mix it up a little bit. But I would also have people penetrating and, trying to get to the stripe.
Your disaster now for Alabama is a night where Sherrill either fouls out or is in foul trouble, so he doesn't play a lot, and you're cold from outside. Because now not only are you not scoring from the perimeter, but you're creating more rebounds by missing perimeter shots, and he's not out there to pull those down as effectively. What was it, block shots, 4 for Sherrill, is that right?
Yep.
Saturday night, 0 for everybody else.
Yep.
So now teams have more ease to the basket. You're missing outside shots. They're getting easier twos. That's going to be your nightmare scenario, and that's how you get knocked out of the NCAA tournament. Like all these teams, nobody's perfect, and the way you get knocked out of the NCAA tournament is you either run up against a team that is playing absolutely out of their mind, or the nightmare scenario that has not lined up for you all year long just happens to line up sometime during the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, the top 8 teams in the country, everybody agrees on. Well, top 9 teams, everybody agrees on. Duke, Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Purdue, Iowa State, Illinois, Houston, Florida in some form or fashion. Any of those teams not have good paint play around the rim? All 9 of those are really good in the paint and around the rim.
Yeah.
They're good on the perimeter too, but I'm saying all 9 of those, Duke, Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Purdue, Iowa State, Illinois, Houston, Florida, they're all good defensively, but they all can get it done around the rim too. Both sides, both ends of the court. So that's what separates you from being, Elite 8, Final 4 is can you get Aiden Sherrill and maybe some pieces around him. So back in court there with that. Our friends at Odie's, back to trivia coming up on Wednesday night, but it's so much more than just a place to watch these guys do trivia.
Yeah, hey, on this cold winter day, stop in, enjoy some of the great chili from Rodney Davis. He's been doing it for almost 4 decades now. The food is fantastic. Both locations, the newest in Edgewood, the original Crest line, from the wings, the great burgers, sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light, and of course the Odie's famous cup cocktails. Stop in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Live music on Friday and Saturday nights. Trivia every Wednesday night. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
Back to Auburn real quick, and then we'll do some football stuff. Stephen Pearl, who Seth Greenberg, go back and watch him, said some nice things. You could see a little bit of the relief post-game after the win over Kentucky because Auburn needed to break that losing streak.
Yeah, it was crucial. It was a game that we had to have. Obviously, we'd kind of played our way into a bubble situation. And, that's going to be another – I'm not sure how much they'll move. They're at 30 right now in the net. So hopefully only winning by 1 moves them up a spot, and we can keep it as a quad 1 because, every quad 1 win is obviously important. So that's going to be our 5th, I think, of the season, which is significant because a lot of the teams on the bubble don't have that many. So huge win for us, but it means nothing if we don't prepare for Oklahoma with the same desperation that we prepared for tonight.
To his point, Kentucky did move up to 29 in the net, so inside that top 30. And Auburn, who is currently sitting at 33, is 5-10, 15 quad 1 games, to put in perspective the difficulty of that schedule that we talk about often. They've only won 5 of them, but you get credit for playing 15 of them. I mean, that will go a long way in a committee room.
That is the great thing about college basketball. Like we were talking about the Ohio State-Alabama game. We were talking about Alabama opening up 2028 with Georgia State and how these games are going to go away. They'll never go away in college basketball because you need them for your resume.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else has 15 quad 1 games. I'd have to dig all the way through this, but I'm just a quick scan, Jim.
Well, Ohio State's the first team out. They're 0-9 in quad 1 games.
Duke's played 14 of them. Duke is 12-2 in the 14 quad 1 games they have played.
They're number 1 overall seed.
That's right. So that tells you something. But they've played 14 quad 1 games. Texas Tech has played 14 quad 1 games. I don't think anybody else has played 15 at first glance. So that's a significant number that he was talking about there.
Going into the week, the last team with a bye is Auburn, and the latest bracketology from Joe Lunardi at ESPN.com. All right, back to football we go as LT tells us about our wonderful friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, I made the call back in 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toh. The next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Kirk Cignetti, last week, we talked about his contract, $13 million. He is on the same line with Lane Kiffin and Kirby Smart. Those are the 3 people in the $13 million club. If I asked you to rank them as coaches going in, nothing they've done before.
Pure X's and O's?
Pure moving forward, next year.
Okay.
Which one would you have?
Yeah, Kirby Smart.
Lane Kiffin, Kirk Cignetti.
So if let's assume Lance.
They've got the same 22 players to coach.
Let's assume these guys are the same age. And you're starting a program today, or you're a great program that can hire a coach.
With the same players.
See, it's so hard to ignore past results because I go Kirby Smart. Why do you go Kirby Smart? Well, he coached under Nick Saban, and he's had success doing it the way Saban did it. But if I have to ignore
Saban,
but Kirby's had longer, more sustained success.
Kirby's got one more national championship than Cignetti does.
I get it, but it's not just a national championship argument. Kirby has done it year in, year out, and they rarely have fallen off. I think I would still go Kirby.
I would go Cignetti. I mean, especially where we are right now. I mean, we've only got 2 years of track record of what is going on in NIL with a 12-team playoff. And this is a guy that has won 26 games in 2 years and 2 college football playoff appearances from a program that was the absolute worst in college football. Lane Kiffin doesn't deserve to be in this conversation. There are 15 or 20 coaches I would take in front of Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
But it would be Cignetti 1, and then I would put Kirby at 2.
I would say, and this is not intended as a shot at Kurt Cignetti, he's phenomenal. But if you gave Kirby Smart that Indiana job with the same resources that Cignetti now has NIL-wise, it would be the exact same numbers.
It would not be the same.
100%. Playing that schedule? Are you kidding me? Playing that schedule with the same – you give Kirby the NIL dollars. Kirby does not have the NIL dollars Indiana does. It's crazy to say that for an SEC program like Georgia, but he doesn't. You let him have the NIL money and tap into that and play the schedule Cignetti got to play, the numbers would be the same.
Yeah, but look, once they get to the college football playoff, they're playing the same teams. And Kirby hasn't had that success the last 2 years.
He would have at Indiana, 100%.
I mean, think about what you're saying.
I know what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's the world we're living in now.
I understand what you're saying, Brown. That first year, though, was helped out by what he had built at James Madison and was able to bring that.
Did not have the commitment he had this year.
And the schedule.
And I don't – in the schedule, yes. I don't think dollar for dollar that Indiana spent as much money as Georgia did that first year.
Well, and let's not also forget a lot of Kirby's success, not to take anything away, they were doing in the East. So they were playing an Indiana Big Ten-like schedule back then.
That's a bit of an overstatement. No, they were not. I would have much rather played Indiana Big Ten schedule than the SEC East schedule. Especially
Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Kentucky, Missouri,
Purdue, Minnesota.
No, I get it.
Yeah. I mean,
but both of you, eventually Indiana did play Ohio State one year, Penn State, and a couple of those games.
Yeah.
Oregon on the road. Those are the equivalent of the crossover West games that LT's talking about.
Yep.
So probably during the East-West days, probably a lot closer to the same schedule Indiana played than we probably want to admit.
It would be hard for me to make an apples-to-apples argument because so much of the success that Cignetti had was the fact that he came from a place that was a really good FCS team, and he brought the best of that team with him. What's the equivalent of that with Kirby? Like if Kirby took the Indiana job from Georgia and brought 26 Georgia players, they'd be really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the argument I'm trying to make. I'm not saying
another thing that jumps, like critical moments, it seems like, as crazy as some of the calls have been with Cignetti, they always go his way. Kirby Smart's critical moments go the wrong way.
I
don't disagree with that.
I would say that the thing that is impressive about Kurt Cignetti, and Kirby is this way too, he does it in recruiting, Cignetti's ability to judge talent that maybe is overlooked. That's what he had to recruit to James Madison, and to drag along the right people, and then to get Fernando Mendoza. By the way, Fernando picked Indiana over Georgia. The failed cell call was going to go to Georgia.
That was all it.
Embellished.
It's really, really crazy. Cignetti, Kiffin, and Smart, the $13 million club, and all three of them expected to make the playoffs next year.
I would agree.
And Lane Kiffin probably has the toughest job to do to meet those expectations.
I would also agree. But you notice neither one of us even thought about Lane Kiffin, did we?
Oh, no. It's not
nobody
even close.
would.
I mean, my second was Cignetti. Your second was Smart.
Yeah, I think even LSU fans, if they're being honest.
Oh, if you could let LSU fans trade Kiffin for Smart or Cignetti?
Yeah.
Yes, I do think, as dumb as this sounds, there's an appeal to the personality of Lane Kiffin for LSU fans. I think they like that personality, which you get a little bit with Cignetti. You don't get a whole lot with Smart. So I don't know how that would, what the percentages breakdown would be on that.
By the way, you feel like Shane Beamer is is snake bit a little bit. His big portal tackle, Jacarius Peak, had a pretty severe injury over the weekend. It's going to keep him out of spring at least. We'll see long term if he's back for the start of camp in August or not. So it's you're off on the wrong foot literally with the injury thing. UCLA will play at the Rose Bowl this upcoming season. Their 45th season at the Rose Bowl. I didn't know it had been that long now, but 45th season of playing their home games at the Rose Bowl.
Which is funny because I didn't know it had only been 45. I just assumed UCLA always played there. You and for me are educating me. They used to play at the Coliseum with USC. I didn't know they shared that facility.
Do you think in the 45 years of attendance with a big SEC school or Big Ten school, in 10 years you could have more people showing up at your game in 10 years than they had in 45? Like if I said Michigan's attendance over the last
decade versus 45 years of UCLA home games?
Yeah. Penn State, Alabama.
Might actually be close.
I mean, early on, it was well attended. I mean, they would have sellouts.
Would they?
For regular season.
Seriously?
Games. Yeah.
Absolutely. I didn't know that. I always thought it was crap.
Like the UCLA Alabama game I was at was a hard sellout.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Did they have tarps up there? No tarps?
No tarps. It was packed house.
They've tarped it off quite a while ago.
Packed house for UCLA.
Was it
in
really?
Alabama. And
that was Bob Toledo era. They were not a bad team.
And then the Terry Donahue years. I mean, I just remember the baby blue pom-poms, baby blue and gold pom-poms in the stands. They would have sellouts.
I just wonder, I mean, that is not a feasible situation for them. I don't think there's ever a case where they fill that stadium again.
Yeah. They want to move to SoFi.
That's right, and I understand why.
And I wonder...
Still not particularly close to campus, by the way.
I wonder if they move to SoFi, will we ever play the Rose Bowl in SoFi Stadium, the actual Rose Bowl?
I mean, these are the same people, Jim, that choose to stay middle of the day, New Year's Day, and not play a national championship game. There's no way they move the game out of that stadium.
But now
just for sunset.
Now you take away... I mean, they've got soccer stadiums out there now. You take away UCLA, the stadium is going to be used, just for the Rose Bowl?
Didn't you say there's an annual high school game there?
There's one annual high school game.
Yeah, so if UCLA had left, they would play 2 games there every year, a high school game and the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's it.
UCLA's home opener in 2022, 12,383.
And I bet there wasn't that many people there.
Yeah, that is so sad.
That was, they went back and they did it. Yeah, they announced like 26.
Yeah. So they counted 12,000 people.
No, it's been horrible. But you can go back and look at video of...
The LA Times did that this year. This is a different one. Think attendance is bad at the Rose Bowl? It's worse than you think. That's the headline from the LA Times.
It really is. It really is. Final thought on college football for today, or at least in this segment. The Big Ten is now urging the NCAA to pass a rule to eliminate prop bets with college athletes.
That's a big topic, yeah.
We've seen others get on this. You were talking about playing Taylor Bowl and taking positions on him, waiting him to get there. This does seem like the thing that I would be okay with if they eliminated this from gambling.
Yeah, DraftKings is one thing when you're playing, when you've got a lineup. But when you can actually go in and you can take a position on whether a guy, his total points, rebounds, and assists is going to be over or under 38.5, and, said individual could, lay down a little bit on that game and make some money. I think they are, as far as something below board going on, this is the most likely.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. This is the easiest pathway to fix. Yeah. Not fix as in repair, fix as in throw a game or throw,
Because it's an individual number at that point. Your team can still win the game.
Yep.
I just don't have to score. I can pass and let Ryan score.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, an assist.
Would you take it away from the pros as well?
Man, I was going to say real quick, Brown, but the money guys are making now at college football and even college basketball, I mean, it's getting up there, but I just don't know how anybody in the NFL, the NBA, we had it before the season started. That was one of the big storylines with Chauncey Billups.
And those were a lot of prop bets, right? Yeah. They were individual prop bets, scoring and rebounding.
I don't know if you saw it the other night, and I only saw it like on TikTok or something, but LeBron needed a rebound for a double-double, and Austin Reeves grabbed the board. He didn't realize LeBron had a wide-open rebound.
Well, in the Florida game, at the end, I don't know if – I'm not saying – before I say this – I'm not saying that it impacted any prop bets. I did not look at any positions on Florida players, but it was a steal before they substituted out, and both guards were I think it was Houck maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was another. It was one of their big guys down low. knocked it loose, and instead of giving it up to one of the guards who were already down there, he went on and dunked it himself. And even Xavier Lee was like, throw it to me. I think he was going to try to dunk it since nobody was on that end of the floor.
Right. And Halleck just took it all the way.
Went on and dunked it. And then they substituted out instantly. In those situations right there, if you are keeping up with it, you're like, I could give it to Xavier Lee and not score 2 more points and keep myself under the number.
And I'm not suggesting that LeBron wanted the rebound. He wanted the double-double. I'm just saying I think
probably gets paid more money for the double-double.
Probably gets a bonus of some sort. But I'm thinking in the pros, it feels like it's easier to police this. Like how many college basketball games you look at every basketball game, do you not, to see if it falls in your window for Lance's lock?
Truthfully, they don't do a lot of props. Do they do it for even the
regular season college games?
The MAC games, the MAACs?
The MAAA, the double A MAC.
The MAC.
Yeah, but I mean, how many college games do you look at on a given day? 100?
No. Like it's an abbreviated board today. I think there's like.
But preparing for a Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it, and I've started to do some Friday night overnights, which I think has affected my last 2 weeks. Like 2 or 3 in the morning, I'm looking through some of these games.
Yeah, you're looking for games that jump out, and there are a bunch of them in the NBA. They got.
It's a control number of games. Control number of players.
Yeah, that's right. It's so much easier to police.
I never look at player props when it comes to college basketball.
But if it's Central Connecticut State playing Merrimack,
you can't find it.
I don't do player props for that.
But even that, I mean, if there was a big number that moved on that, it would jump out so much.
Yeah.
You know, that I don't know.
By the way, Miami of Ohio still unbeaten, 27-0, 14-0, but they have not clinched the MAC regular season championship yet because Akron is 13-1 in league play.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's underreported.
With a week to go.
Miami, Ohio is stealing Akron's thunder, literally.
Stephen F. Austin can clinch the regular season tonight with a win. These teams have already clinched with over a week to go in their season. Wright State, Navy, Belmont, North Dakota State, East Tennessee State, Austin P, Merrimack, LIU, which is Long Island.
Yeah.
By the way, I had a position
and Portland State.
On Wright State, lost by a half point. LIU lost over the weekend. Merrimack. So back to your point, I had all 3 of those teams over the last 3 days.
They've all clinched the regular season.
They didn't cover.
But none of them are automatically in the tournament because they've got to play their tournaments. Yeah. Everyone is saying now, though, Miami of Ohio may be in a position to where if they lose in the tournament,
still get in.
You got to let them
in.
You have to let them in.
You have to.
You have to let them in.
Where are they in the net right now?
They're going to be 30-0, Brown.
Yeah, I know the number.
I am sorry, though.
So we're going to put in Akron and Miami, Ohio.
But you cannot be a ranked team for 2/3 of the season. You lose one game in your conference tournament and you're out.
That's where the selection committee says, we never had them ranked.
That's right.
I am so torn on the conference tournaments because I do think it brings excitement. Like, I'm not watching the MEAC unless you're getting that automatic bid. But at the same time, if you go undefeated the regular season, that should have more weight than just a 4-day tournament.
To your point, Navy has run away with the, I guess, Patriot League they're in. They've run away with it. But if they lose in the tournament, they're not getting into the March Madness. They deserve to be there. They're the better team. Merrimack deserves to be there. They're the better team. Portland State deserves to be there. They're the better
Miami,
team.
Ohio, 48th. They have played one quad 1 and quad 2 game.
Wow.
One. Quad 1, quad 2 combined. One. That's it. I mean, they're 1-0 to their credit, but I mean, I just talked about Auburn has played 15 quad 1 games. Miami, Ohio has played 1 quad 1 plus quad 2 games.
Should it not be at the discretion of your conference commissioner on whether or not that year you can make a statement, hey, this is going to be our auto bid, or we're going to let it play out in the tournament? Because I think there are some non-traditional years where you get a Miami of Ohio and you're like, hey, now, I guess the dangerous thing there is you're like, they're going to be our representative, and then somebody else wins the tournament, and maybe they get in too, and you get 2 bids.
Yeah, I mean, right now, if you're the MAC, not the MAC, but the MAC, you're sitting here hoping
somebody else wins the tournament.
Miami of Ohio and Akron play in the championship, and that would be the best possible loss for Miami of Ohio, and you get both of them in.
That's right.
And then you make the most money you can as the MAC.
And if I'm looking for questionable officiating, I watch that tournament to see if it's happening.
Yeah. Interesting that all those teams have done all they can do, and they'll still have to go win 2 or 3 games in a week.
There have been at least 2 that are already eliminated because not every conference invites all their teams. Like I know UTSA was one, and there was one more I can't remember that they're out of it now. So we've already had teams eliminated from the national championship hunt.
See, I don't agree with that. Everybody should be at your tournament.
I agree. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do.
Which is why we shouldn't expand the NCAA tournament. Everybody, when they go to their conference tournament, has a chance to win the national championship. Technically, if you just win the rest of your games from that point, you're already in the tournament. Anyway, when we come back, trash is on the table for us today. Trash on the table. That's all coming up here.
Segment.
The show being brought to you by a couple of our sponsors. One of them is Gutter Cap. Man, it's about to be spring again. The leaves are going to bloom. Then it'll be summer. They'll look pretty. Then they'll start to dry up, and then they'll fall into your gutters. And you're going to wish you had it capped.
Yeah, well, the last thing you want to do is do it yourself. Like you work all week. You don't want to get the ladder out. It's a dirty, dangerous job. You slip, you fall, snap the neck and die. No good to the wife or kids. Cap it, don't snap it. Call our man Chris Stewart. He will come out and give you an absolutely free estimate. 205-823-2212. Gutter Cap is a patented aluminum cover system fitting over most existing gutters. It will keep all the debris out. The only thing that will go through is the rainwater. Keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. For more information, guttercapbirmingham.com.
And our friends at Champy's world-famous fried chicken, they bring you this third hour of the show every day, and they are open for lunch right now for 33 minutes and 55 seconds. They'll be open for dinner tonight, a great happy hour. And Sterling, the man in the picture there, does a wonderful job for over a decade at the same location, Highway 119 in Alabaster, creating a wonderful atmosphere, dine-in experience. It is such a great mood in that place. And then an easy-to-go order, you can get that as well. They've got a pickup window. You can just cruise by on your way home there in the Alabaster area. But it's a destination lunch and dinner location. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the great folks at Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Let's go racing. It's time for the Jack Links 500 at Talladega, April the 27th, and you can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Don't forget to enhance your ticket with the Garage Experience, everything from watching the Cup teams work on the cars to the Mobil 1 Victory Lane Trophy presentation. The most exciting, unpredictable racing in the world at Talladega. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com, 877-GO-TO-DEGA.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Final segment of the show. We'll get to trash in just a second. Again, everyone around the country now reacting to the Bediako refiling case.
We're back.
Yeah. And you heard Seth Greenberg on the show earlier say that it was he thought it was a distraction for the team, for the Alabama team.
You know, it's kind of funny. Lance asked him the Darren Peterson question, asked Seth Greenberg, which I was ready to ask had you not. It was going to be my first question. But as I was going to ask it, I was thinking, I bet for Seth Greenberg, the Darren Peterson question is our Bediako question, right? He's probably sick of talking about it. He gave you a great answer. But I was going to say this, Darren Peterson, amidst all the criticism, what did he do Saturday? We talked about it earlier. Played 32 minutes, I believe it was.
Yep.
How'd that go for Kansas?
Not good.
They got drilled at home by Cincinnati.
The worst loss of the year.
Worst loss maybe of several years, Lance. Drilled at home by Cincinnati, and now you know what people are saying.
First double-digit home loss since 1993. Do you know how long ago 1993 is?
Yeah, so first double-digit Allen Fieldhouse loss since 93. And you know what people were saying after the game is, well, Darren Peterson played the whole game. Well, yeah, his team doesn't know how to play with him because they never play a whole game with him, which I don't know if that's true or not. But you're to the point now with Peterson at Kansas, like Seth kind of said, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, there are no good answers anymore. It's all he either doesn't play enough or when he plays, they don't know how to play around him. Either way, it's a distraction. And that's the same thing with Bediako. Like, could you use him behind Sherrill? 100%.
Couple of things quickly. The other big story here locally, other than the Bediako case, Alabama's coach Nate Oates is going to be an assistant coach on the USA under-18 national team. Forster wants to tell me who he's going to be an assistant for. Forster, I've guessed 16 people. He says, you know he's going to be the assistant for? I was like, he's got local ties. I was like, Bruce Pearl, nope. Stephen Pearl, nope. Andy Kennedy, nope.
Well, this is all about recruiting.
He goes, that's what I said. I said, under-18, man, this is a great way to meet the best players in the country. And
if you had not said local ties, I got local ties.
If you would have said local ties, I would have been like Dan Hurley.
I got it. Local ties, Todd Golden. He coached at Auburn.
Nope.
Who is it, Todd?
You guys are 0 for a lot.
I don't know where to go if it's not Todd Goldman.
Coach
played roughly the same kind of style as Nate. It's Anthony Grant.
Are you kidding me?
Opposite styles.
I mean, that could not be. It was very tongue-in-cheek by Scott.
Yes.
Could not be any different.
Wow. If Avery Johnson's on the staff too, man, just the whole past few decades.
Just buckle up.
Wow.
Yeah, can't drag Mark Gottfried away from his podcast. It's too good.
You think a lot of people would be like, I think they got the wrong guy coaching.
You think Nate's going to be able to sit on the bench and watch Anthony Grant's style of basketball?
No.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, at some point, these under-18 guys who are going to play in the NBA one day, they're going to look at Nate and like, can we speed this up?
Yes. What are we doing?
What is the high post? I don't even know what it is.
Why are we passing 4 times before we shoot? This ain't Hoosiers.
Anyway, thank you, Forrester, for getting that. The other big story here, Alabama's added Georgia State to their 2028 deal, to which Brooks sent out a wonderful graphic at Next Round Live, pointing out that Alabama now has 4 out-of-conference games officially for 2028. With 9 conference games, that's mathematically not 12. 4 and 9 is what? Tyler, you buzzed in first. 4 and 9 is what? Math-wise, 13. Thank you. That's 13 games. That is one more. That is one more than the other one. Georgia State, Ohio State, Tennessee Martin, Oklahoma State. Betting favorite that gets dropped is?
Well, Feinbaum had already said Ohio State was going away.
He thought it would go away, yes.
So I don't think Paul just says that out of the blue. I think Paul probably had been told that was probably going away, which sucks.
27 and 28.
Has Alabama, Jimmy Bama, have they ever played in the Horseshoe?
That famous Ohio State-Alabama game was at East Rutherford, was
Correct,
it not?
To
on a
start
Labor
the
Day night?
86 season.
I do not think Ohio State has ever played in Bryant-Denny Stadium, and I do not think Alabama's ever played in the Horseshoe.
Okay.
No, I would agree on both.
There again, this is what we're losing in this world of college football that we are entering right now, is you getting to see
Alabama's played at Washington. They've even played, I believe, at Louisiana Lafayette, a road game at Louisiana Lafayette.
I randomly remember that. It was in 1990, and it was on pay-per-view, because I remember somebody in my neighborhood had one of those big satellite dishes, what they call those, a C-band dish, I think. And he was telling all the neighbors around, I'm going to have the Bama game on if y'all want to come watch. And I asked my dad, who are they playing? Louisiana Lafayette. I'm like, who would want to watch that?
By the way, I found an old Sports Extra on YouTube. I was looking. And Auburn hosting Arkansas and Alabama, I forget who they were playing that weekend. Both games were on pay-per-view.
Different world.
I said that in my sportscast.
Yeah.
That would have been 2001, and both games were on pay-per-view.
Different world.
Auburn, Arkansas, SEC game, pay-per-view.
I mean, bare minimum, it's SEC Network right now. Alabama and Alabama and Ohio State have played 5 times, where Bama holds a 4-1 edge, by the way, on the Buckeyes. The Sugar Bowl in 78, the Kickoff Classic we were talking about, East Rutherford, New Jersey in 86.
Bama won both of those.
The Citrus Bowl in 95 into the 94 season.
That was Jay Barker's last game.
Wasn't
Herb Street in that
Alabama
game?
won that one. I think he was,
I think I randomly remember Bobby Hoeing was their quarterback.
Yeah, Herb Street wasn't the starter, but I don't think
he might have been on the team.
I don't think Herb Street was the starter.
Yeah, I think Bobby Hoeing was your starting quarterback. Don't ask me why I remember that. Sugar Bowl, where we all were when they played in the first round of the playoffs.
Should have won that one, lost
14,
Yeah, and 14. And then the national championship game down in Miami. That's the only 5 times they played. So never had on campus. And frankly, in this world we live in, I'd bet against you ever seeing on campus.
I think they played in Seattle. Do you have all their...
Who, Washington?
Alabama and Seattle, yeah. I think they played in the old shaky Seattle's. I think I remember them going out there for a home and home.
I think I remember a Sun Bowl against Washington.
I do too. Alabama's never lost to Washington. They played against them in Seattle in 1978.
Yeah.
20-17, Alabama won that game.
Yeah, so they played in Seattle, but they never played in Columbus.
Yep. And again, I'd bet against it happening now. I don't know, man. I think it's cool like an Alabama fan gets to go to the Horseshoe and an Ohio State fan gets to come to Bryant-Denny, but instead we're trading all these games just to go to the same stadiums you go to time and time and time again.
Our great friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, they bring you trash today. UCA, we like to call them here on the show. What you need to call them for is testosterone treatment, vasectomy reversals. Tyler, they can do that as well. Everything from
13.
prostate health to kidney stones, everything in between. They're fantastic with double-digit locations near you for your convenience. 16 of them, great urologists. 205-930-0920. And to get all the details you need about all the services they offer, both men and women, you can go online at urologycentersalabama.com.
But you guys have sharded, right?
I have. Yeah, it's happening. Every man's done
that could be it.
I think you're reading way too much into this.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. As I sit here on day 27, alcohol-free.
You just told me some of the benefits, though. There have been benefits.
No. Yeah. I mean, That's a big benefit. Police in Italy have spotted a dog carrying trash outside and leaving it behind a trash heap, saying the pup has been trained to illegally dump rubbish by its owner.
Interesting way to skirt around the rules right there. Look at that
That's
dog.
amazing. Look at
That's
that
pretty good training too, right there.
Fly tipping or the deliberate and illegal dumping of waste outside designated areas is a criminal offense that carries a hefty fine in Italy. That hasn't stopped one dog owner from risking their pocketbook for the sake of convenience. At least that's what local authorities in Sicily are claiming after spotting a small dog seemingly dumping bags of garbage at the end of the road on CCTV footage. Now, they've seen the dog perform this task 2 different times on security cameras, watching it take bags to the trash heap on different streets in the district of Sicily. The municipality of Caniana shared footage on Facebook accusing the dog's owner of taking advantage of the animal to carry out their alleged crime and urging citizens to keep their environment clean.
Now, does the dog go to the pound as part of the as an accessory?
Sorry, you made this decision.
They went on to write, quote, "Ingenuity can never become an alibi for incivility. This scene leaves a little room for doubt. The animal was apparently trained to prevent its owner from being filmed dumping garbage illegally. This behavior that is as clear as it is incorrect because in addition to dirtying the city, it attempts to evade the rules by exploiting the unwitting four-legged friend."
And see, it cuts off, but the dog's about to rip into the bag and eat whatever it wants to out of it, too. That's not good for the dog.
That's what a normal dog will do.
Yeah.
Let me ask in your house, those that have significant others, you pull the trash to take it to the can. Do you immediately put the trash bag back in the can, or do you pull the trash, take it to the can, and then come back and put a trash bag in?
I come back and put the trash
As do I. As do I. I am
yeah.
learning that there's a gender difference here.
Yeah.
That the ladies
Maggie
pull the
will
trash, immediately put the bag in.
Yeah, sets it down
That's
and
right.
then puts a bag in there.
Yeah.
Maggie keeps a bag down in the bottom of it.
Sometimes we do too. Not always.
And so that when she pulls it out, she can pull that bag out.
That's right.
And even though that bag is sitting there, I still take the trash out.
I do too. I finish the first chore before starting the second one.
I don't like the bag sitting there on the ground
kinda
while
with
I'm
Tyler.
putting a new bag in.
I'm kind of with you. It could spill. It could have something on the bottom I don't know about. There could be a leaky drink in there.
Yeah, you want to get it out as soon as possible.
get it to the can as soon as possible.
So let me
Growing
ask.
up, my mom was always adamant that you put the bag in and then
I'm
take the
learning
trash
that
out.
that's the way the ladies are.
I'm learning it now.
Yeah.
Did you take it out and forget to put her bag in the trash can? Is that how you got into this conversation?
No, here's the issue. So our cans are located outside our garage. So most of the time, we'll just take the trash downstairs, leave it in the garage. Next person that opens the garage door normally is me, and I'll take it and throw it in the can, right? Unless it's super stinky or some issue. So I get it. I take it all the way downstairs, put it in the garage, and come back. And
There's
she's
your
already,
sports room. Oh,
Yeah,
she's already done it.
She's already pow, popping the bag and putting it in. And I'm like, I was coming back to do that. She's like, well, I don't know why you don't just do it right away.
Yeah.
That's what women do. They do it right away. It's weird.
I inevitably will take it out, drag the can down. Today's trash day for me.
Yeah.
Down to the end of the driveway.
Okay.
Then I'll come back in, and at that point I've lost interest in the trash. So then I'm back watching. Hey, we're coming back for the third period of the gold medal game, and then Maggie gets home from church and it's like, how do you not put the garbage bag back in there?
Okay, here's
And I was
another
like,
one.
I forgot.
I didn't realize that was gender specific.
I'm sorry. I did
I'm learning.
2/3.
I know.
I did 2/3 of
I
it.
know.
I can't. It's a passing grade. That's 66.
I think the ladies go bag right back in there. Men just go to the can first.
Well, let's see if we can get a
unanimous? All right, Scott and
decision
Brooks.
here. Scott
Yeah.
and Brooks. What's the situation at y'all's place?
Well, first off, I can't tell you the last time Debbie's ever taken the bag out anyway.
Okay. Well, no,
We're pretty close to 100% on me.
Okay.
So,
all right.
but I put it right back in.
Okay. So Scott.
I put a new bag in the can right after.
All right. Scott's like a lady.
No, but do you? I guess what we're asking: do you set the full bag down beside it and put a new one in before you carry the full one out to the can, or do you carry the full one out to the can and then put the bag in?
No, I put the bag in immediately after.
Okay. All right. Just like a woman would.
And then carry it out.
Whatever, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I put the bag in after I
Okay. Both of you females.
I put the bag in after I come back.
After you come back. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you gotta take it to the trash can first.
That's
I agree.
80%. That's a big enough sample.
Yeah, but then in my house anyway, somebody's going to throw something in the
No,
bagless trash
in the
can.
2-minute window?
Start throwing stuff in there.
Good Lord, it's a minute.
Yeah.
It happens.
Who doesn't look to see if it's an empty trash can?
Kids, I'll tell you that. I can answer that
Ding,
question.
ding, ding.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, my 3-year-old would probably throw it in there, but
I'll tell you, man, I don't know about y'all's, but those 13 gallons fill up so quickly.
Okay, but here's another question. And this frustrates me too. Fill one up before you throw a bag in the second one. Because now I got to drag 2 to the street.
But see, I never fill it all the way up. So it looks like it's full. Like if I stuff it down, I could do that 3 or 4 times.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm talking about
the big ones you roll to the street?
Yeah. I got 2.
Yeah.
And sometimes like on Tuesday's trash day, I'll look in both of them and they're both half full. And I'm like, why did we not fill this first one before we started filling the second one? Now I got to drag 2 to the street.
I used to have 2 in the house days. Just have 1 now.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's occasionally we'll fill it up.
We don't. I mean, it's just not a lot of trash. Now I'm eating at home 6 nights a week, as opposed to eating out 6 nights a week because I'm not drinking right now.
Yeah, that's going to create more trash.
Yeah, it creates more trash. But even my neighbors, I've had neighbors reach out multiple times, different neighbors. Hey, can we use one of your trash cans, knowing that I don't use a lot of trash?
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm glad they do that for you.
Yeah, for a fee. Yeah,
that's right. I pay for this thing every month.
Yeah.
So thieves made off with around $180,000 worth of Pokemon cards after tunneling through the wall of a California collectibles store in an overnight burglary. Police say the suspects broke into a neighboring business before smashing through a shared wall to reach Doe Collectibles in Anaheim, where they stole hundreds of valuable cards in minutes. Surveillance footage shows the group using tools to break into the display case before fleeing the scene with stolen cars. Speaking to KTLA, which reported the total value of the stolen goods, $180,000. Store's owner said he discovered the break-in after receiving security alert in the early hours of the morning. Quote, I clicked on the footage, saw guys coming through the hole. My heart was pounding. They were looking for cards. One card can be worth up to $10,000. More than 500 cards were reportedly stolen, though it's not known if these are raw copies of expensive cards or condition graded by third parties. I would assume this has got to be an inside job, like somebody was casing this, knowing what he had. They had to.
I mean, probably casing it, just like visiting the store and going like, yep, they got that in the case, they got that one and that one. All right, I think 5 cards and I'll get a decent haul here.
I'd like to know is that stuff usually insured by the owners?
Should be.
It should be.
Yeah.
Because at this point, rare Pokemon cards are like investing in art. Like you can invest in it. Like in the past 10 years, if you bought one of the big Charizard cards that everybody's crazy about it, at any point, at any price, you made money.
Yeah, huge mistakes as Pokemon card market is out of hand right now.
It's stupid.
Richard says the same thing you guys are saying. It's an inside job to collect on insurance. But that's not an immediate payout, right? I mean, insurance.
I wouldn't think. Big investigation.
Yeah, they allow for the police investigation first, I would imagine.
Yeah, but
I mean, maybe you eventually get the money.
When it's time to buy that card back, I'm buying it back from the guys who I let steal it.
Oh, no.
With insurance money.
Yeah, Van Zandt didn't like that in heat. But what you want to do is have them steal the cards, then you put them in a security deposit box, safety deposit box, or a safe somewhere, and then you still claim that you lost them but you still got them.
And then you give me the key. I go by and get them out of the box and resell them. That's the way the movie would work.
Squad of undercover cops dressed as characters from Scooby-Doo busted a gang of cell phone thieves at a carnival in Brazil.
It's amazing.
Now, the undercover officers in Sao Paulo included 4 dressed as Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Velma, and Daphne from the cartoon classic, about a group of teens who always somehow end up catching the bad guys. Now, officers were dressed as characters from Squid Games.
Who's the cat in the purple? What character is that, Tyler?
That's Daphne.
No, the far left purple.
That's red.
That is from Squid Game.
Squid Games.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not purple?
Nope.
Now, they had a Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. The Scooby Gang cops arrested 2 women and a man with at least one of the women with at least 8 stolen phones. Officers seized the cells before returning the devices to their rightful owners.
I would say magenta, maybe, Brandon.
Okay, magenta and the purple family.
Yeah, I would say they need to work on their Daphne. Whew. That is we're actually closer to a dog than with Scooby than we are to the way Daphne looks.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And
Well,
by the way, is
tatted
that just
up, too.
is that just a poor fitting Scooby outfit, or is he showing me his Scooby snacks?
I may have hidden his gun there.
Well, Velma looks like Flo from Progressive.
That is correct.
Yeah,
You
100%.
nailed that. Yeah, that's in fact.
100%.
In fact, if I see her out in the wild, that's who I think she's imitating.
Yeah.
And finally, Punch, the baby monkey who has gone viral after being abandoned, later dragged in a concerning clip, now reportedly has a bodyguard protecting him at the zoo.
Aw.
Now, the young monkey
Aw.
has been subject to
Cute.
multiple viral moments. Have you guys not seen this at all?
I've seen Punch the monkey, but I didn't know. I thought somebody had punched a monkey.
I haven't seen
and
him
it was
take a nap
controversy.
on his little stuffed animal.
Yeah, but this is cute. That's the first
He
I've pictured.
captured attention after being seen clinging to the plush toy right there following reports that he'd been abandoned. Shortly after, a separate clip showing Punch being dragged by an protect him. They showed him sitting against a rocky enclosure wall while a larger monkey appears to be positioned closely behind him. So there you go.
So they're saying this is normal monkey behavior, what was happening to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably, just they're getting to know him a little bit. He doesn't have a so-called protector.
Yeah.
They're just toughing him up.
Are those baboons?
They are macaques.
Oh, okay.
But kind of in the baboon family.
Yeah.
That's a little emotional there, to be honest with you, when he went over after getting drugged and got on the
So if he would have
stuffed animal.
If he would have thrown an American flag around him, would you have cried again?
I mean, I almost cried right then when he went and grabbed his little stuffed animal. That was a tough day for him.
Yeah, they've got a lot of different social hierarchies in chimpanzees, and so a lot of times you'll see chimps eating each other.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Well, that's
bad.
not good.
Yeah, that's
But,
next level. I know they're cannibals.
They at least became friends.
Yeah, I agree.
Is he smoking a cigarette now?
That's what that looks like.
Definitely looked
We're
like
going to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
That's trash today. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. It's another week, another opportunity to go to Lance's.
Yeah, make the phone call that I've made way too many times. Again, never ideal when you've got to make this phone call, but you want to have somebody that you can count on. That is our friends at Hemp Hill Services, Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys Birmingham has relied on since 1954. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues, home or business, call them today, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
The gold medal at the Olympics has to be 92.5% silver.
Well, that makes no sense.
And then it's covered in gold. I think this had 6. I don't want to give the number. It's just basically plated in gold.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you did solid gold, imagine how expensive that would be.
But the meltdown price of the medal, if you melted down the silver and gold, is $2.5 thousand every medal.
$2,500?
Yeah, the meltdown price, yeah.
Because gold is through the roof right now, and silver's following. It's pretty high, too.
Yeah, silver's at an all-time high.
I don't think anybody would ever sell their medal.
Oh, I'm guarantee you that happens.
I mean, for $2,500 though.
Yeah, so people get
That's the meltdown price. You could sell it for more.
Yeah, if you just
maybe.
Yeah.
I guess depending on what the medal is.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. And congratulations to Kirsty Coventry. She's the president of the IOC. Auburn grad, former Auburn swimmer, but she's Zimbabwe. And she's the president of the IOC. I thought it was a really good Olympics.
It was, but I stumbled across a video of her getting peppered by questions from the media, and she was unprepared. And at one point, she even said, basically, I may have to fire my staff because nobody told me about this. Like 2 or 3 straight questions. She was like, I was unaware of this.
Did you make it the entire time without watching a minute?
No, I watched some of the Olympics. We had some on in studio.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like at home.
At home. I did not watch any at home, really.
She should have just been like, we just had one of the greatest 2 Olympic hockey finals ever, and this is what we're talking about?
Yeah, it was all, it was typical controversy, like doping and Russia and, transgenders, all the.
We've just done the greatest Olympics ever, and this is what you want to talk about.
Every hot topic.
Yeah,
She was
I'm not
getting
answering
peppered.
that. I'm not answering
and
that.
I didn't know who she was until you said that. I did not realize that was the girl from Auburn. Yeah,
Auburn grad and head of the International Olympic Committee. Next Olympics is there we go. Final medal count.
Oh, how'd we do?
We're second overall.
That's not bad. We lost to a snow country.
Yeah, the
that's
Norwegians killed
it. That's all right.
They had the record of 16 goals, 39 total, so now they've set their own record, 18 and 41. 12 goals for the U.S. We had 10 in Salt Lake. It's the first time we finished solo second since 1952.
Not even our sports, and we're second.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's the winter.
Yeah.
Wait till the summer.
We barely even play those sports over here.
LA in 28's next.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, we'll dominate that when you watch.
Yeah. French
Alps.
Alps.
That's our sport.
French Alps is the next Winter Olympics. And then after that, it's back to Salt Lake, where we dominate.
Can't wait.
All right. That's our show. We're back with you again tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.